Oh, never mind.
It's quite the word game you got going on. Hey, everybody. So we're doing a Thursday night edition of the Boom because Wednesday night I had a fantasy football draft that went way late. There were like basically two guys that were taking their full 2 minutes for every pick, and we have a roster of 30. So it was just like, even they're like, like round 27, when there's just like the scrap heap available.
Just let the auto picker pick.
Yeah, and just like, but they're still like just agonizing over. Oh, there's like 5 guys I can't do. They're still all 5 are going to still be available. Like the next time around, just go. But whatever. It's and then also it was my wife's birthday, so when I finally did get home, I just hung out with her, and by the time like she was going to bed, I was just like, you know what, I'm going to bed too because I was tired. Well, actually, no. What I did was I ended up editing my video for Merchant's Cove, which, if you haven't backed that game is awesome.
Wasn't it like it's been on Kickstarter before or no?
No, not at all. Oh, well, yes, I should post that. KK, I apologize. Look at this. There, she's making me feel bad. So, but no, so then we will, what was I saying? No, so yeah, Merchant's Cove. I'll just give my quick little, so basically each person has you remember, what was the name of that cooperative game about like saving the starship, and each person had their own little rule, their own little mini game?
Are you talking about Space Cadets?
There you go. Space Cadets. There you go. So, so that's, it's not, that's like, I draw a parallel to that because each player, depending upon like, if you're the alchemist or you're the blacksmith or, the pirate captain or whatever, each of you has like their own little mini game they play, with worker placement and different actions that they do to like create, different, goods. And then there's a main board where the players start jockeying for customers and getting customers to certain docks that coincide with the stuff that they're trying to sell and trying to make money off of. So it's like, it's kind of fun. So if you ever like get like the main game, the main board game is the same, but like if you ever get tired of being the blacksmith, it's like, which is like a dice rolling game. Like like you're taking your dice and like you get to switch the pips and modify them in some certain ways. If you get tired of doing that, then you can play the alchemist game, and then which now you're doing like a marble drop potion explosion type thing going on, and you're messing with like doing that. And then if you get tired of that, then you can go to be the pirate captain, and you're doing a point to point movement. Maximization type of game. So anyway, good stuff. Go check it out.
With art by the Miko.
Oh yeah, I backed it.
Yeah.
I backed it after the Boom last week.
KK does bring up a point where there's a lot of teaching because each player has something different to do. I would agree with that. However, I think that they kind of looked at that, so they made sure that it wasn't too convoluted. Like at most, you have like 6 spots that you'll use for your activation spots. So it's it's pretty cool. And then there's an expansion that adds like 2 more different merchants that I haven't even got to play yet because they weren't included in my prototype. So.
One of them's a roll and write type where you're throwing the bones, and the other one was you're some kind of tavern keeper, and I don't remember what the mechanisms were. I think it's speculation and stuff like that.
Yeah. So the cool thing about it is that they really went over the top on trying to make it like a certain way, they really went like as far as like making sure that the each of the worker placements is like a cool little mini that represents. So like your alchemist looks like an alchemist, it isn't just like a thing you're putting down. And then but the other thing about it that I liked was like all of like there's stuff that doesn't have to be there. Like each person gets like a little like 3D cardboard table that you set up. and then like you actually place the things for sale on there, like it's an actual like, hey, I'm in a market and this is my stuff to sell. But I mean, it just, that kind of stuff adds to like the look of the game and the immersion of the game, and plus it serves a purpose because then people can actually see what you're making, and they can actually kind of figure out where you're gonna maybe try to get the boats to land. And either A, they might want to piggyback on that so you both can score points, or B, they can try to like, screw you up and like and change that around on you, and like so you end up like actually losing out. So yeah, it's just it's a cool little thing there. But anyway, enough yakking about that. Does anybody have any grievances they wish to air?
Can I talk about Tapestry instead?
No, because I will ask you. I will have 1,000 questions about BGGC in just a moment, and I do want to hear your thoughts on Tapestry.
Okay.
But and whether or not we should all race out and pre-order it, like now, like immediately or whatever. Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure he hasn't sold all 25,000 yet.
He might.
If he did, he did. I'll
yeah, go ahead. Back to grievances.
Well, no, my only grievance is that like so like
gonna be that Tapestry sold out.
No, no
it's not sold out yet. It's not sold out yet.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to sell out 25,000 that quickly.
I don't know. I may have heard something.
You may have heard something. What did you hear?
I don't know. I might have heard something.
Anyway,
I'm not saying anything.
You're not saying anything.
Anyway, if you're going to order it, you better order. You might want to order it tonight.
Anywho, so you little liar! It's sold out.
It is.
There you go. Yeah, I just clicked on the thing.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh no! I'll just have to pick mine up at Essen.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, no big deal.
All right. Well, we'll talk about it after.
It was amazing, right? And then anybody who doesn't get it in September will be...
I don't know what to say now because you can't buy it. So I don't know. Do you want to just talk about it since we're just talking about it?
Well, fine. Go ahead.
It's great. It's very good. If you like Civilization games, it is one of the better ones that I've played. I'm allowed to talk about this now, right? Yeah, I guess so, since it's already sold out. Yeah, no, I loved it. I played it 3 times, and every game was drastically different. Like, the asymmetry in the game is pretty crazy. I mean, you're all advancing up the same 4 tracks, but everybody's like civilization power is totally different than everybody else's. There's no overlaps as far as I can tell. Although I only played maybe 6 unique or 7 unique civilizations. Like, because we would just randomly deal them, and then I think there's 20 in the box, maybe something like that. Can't remember. Man vs. Meeple did an episode on every single one. I mean, 1 episode per Civ, so you can go watch their shows. Yeah, no, it's really cool. It flows pretty well. I think it can be a very, very quick game with people who, like, when I was playing, I was taking my turn like on the 3rd game. Just I wasn't hardly even thinking about it. Right? It's really good, really good. What else can I say about it?
I ordered mine.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Everybody has a unique civilization. Everybody has a unique capital city, although that doesn't matter so much. It's just random. It's just a random grid for where you put your buildings. Like, so it's got pre-painted buildings, and when you reach certain achievements on the game, either by technology or by moving up the track, you will get those buildings. You put those buildings in your capital city. Filling one of the 9 grids in your capital city gives you a resource, and resources are actions, so that's very powerful. Or if you fill a row or a column, you score a point during certain parts of the game where you score. You get 5 rounds, basically 5 tapestry cards to do what you want, or not 5 cards, but 5 eras. Like when you run out of actions, you go into your tapestry scoring phase, basically, and then you come out with a new. They're called tapestry cards, which gives you an uber power for that like era. And some of them are really, really powerful. Like, I was really surprised at how the power curve on a lot of the cards were. We're like, wow, that's like the most powerful card in the game. And then someone else went, that's the most powerful card in the game. So you get a lot of craziness. You have science track, you have technology track, you have military track, and you have exploration. And you pay resources to advance up those tracks, and those each time you advance, you get an ability and a bonus. So you get to do something, plus you can spend resources to get the bonus. I would always try to do that. And then my first game I scored 200 and something points. My second game I scored 83. So I can show you how different like you can play, like depending on what you do.
Sounds like you're either really good or really horrible.
Well, there's some things to know in the game, like skipping up tracks sounds great because you're getting to the higher levels of the power, but you're also not getting every little impulse in between, right? Like the science track lets you like skip tracks completely just because you're like, super science guy, but you don't get the bonus, right? You don't get the ability until your science is way higher. Once your science gets high enough, you start getting the abilities of the tracks you skip. But it almost pushes you too far forward too fast. Like I played a very heavy science game in that 83-point game, and I skipped up to the top of the tracks very quickly. But you miss all the stuff in between. So it's kind of like maybe a pure science strategy is not a good strategy.
Can you kill the other people?
Yes, there's conquests.
Yeah. And then can you knock somebody out of the game?
No.
Oh.
No.
You just
here's the thing.
You poop in their garden. I don't think you kill them.
Your game could end a half an hour earlier than mine, Lance. The way we played. The first night I played with Luke. Luke was done. He left the table. We finished a half an hour later, and he came back and found that his 100 points had been eclipsed by everybody in the game. He thought he was going to win because he was so far ahead. And then when he came back, we had all caught him and
he had no actions to do anymore.
Right? Yeah, because he played a character. It's a weird way to think about it, but every resource you get is an action or two potentially. No, every resource is one action. Sometimes it costs 2 resources to do an action. Sometimes it costs 3, depending on how high the track you are. So if you advance up that track very quickly, you run out of stuff to do. You run out of resources and you can't do anything. So you go to the next era, right? The next tapestry era. And he had done that. His civilization were the futurists. So he started 4 levels up on every track. Right? So he skipped the first 4 advancements.
So Aldi, is there anything random in this game, or is it pretty much formulaic?
There is randomness. There is you get the tapestry cards; those are all random. Your civilization is a random.
Other than
dice
assignments,
there are dice.
There are trap cards. People can have a trap card. If I attack Lance and he has a trap card, it turns around on me, and I actually lose the battle. That's huge, right? Like you think you're going to win that battle and take a territory, and you don't. It reverses it. You're like, oh crap.
Well, that would serve you right for daring to attack.
And that's pretty random, right? You draw those tapestry cards like constantly through the game, and there's 4, 5 trap cards in the whole deck, and the deck's like 60 cards. So there's a good chance they're going to come out. You roll dice when you conquer. You get you roll 2 dice, and you get to choose one of them. The range of victory points on one of the dice is 4 to 7, something like that. So you get 4, 5, 6, or 7 victory points. So that's kind of random. I wasn't bothered by that though, because there's so many times to score that like 4 to 7 points didn't really feel like that big a deal. I'm trying to think what else is random. I mean, it's not the most perfect civilization game ever made, but it's pretty darn good, and I enjoyed it. Like it's just fun to see what happens.
What is the most perfect?
Civilization is the most perfect civilization game. Advanced Civilization. But that takes 8 hours to play.
Advanced Civilization or the Mega Civ, right?
Mega Civ. Right? I've not actually played Mega Civ. But,
really? I played it. It's fun. So I hear Mega Civ is going to actually do they're going to have the Western map or something. That's going to be at Essen this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get one of them.
But so Tapestry is pretty awesome. I'm a bit flabbergasted that he sold $25,000 copies in 2 days because it went on sale yesterday. Yeah, it went on sale yesterday. That's so crazy. 25,000 copies.
For those people who are like, who knew? I'll never get my game. if you know, like, well, like he's gonna have them for sale at Essen.
And they're
Like-
going. I think they're going into distribution too, right? I mean,
Well, like November 1st, it's gonna be available everywhere. So
put a pre-order in at your store. Your store probably bought some, maybe.
if they were smart, they would, yeah. But yeah,
It's weird, like 25,000 copies is a lot. That's probably like one of the biggest board game pre-orders I've ever seen.
let me just check one thing here. I see Cool Stuff is pre-ordering it for $98. You get to save $1. But you can pre-order it through Miniature Market for $79.
Oh, it was 79. It was 79 on the website.
Yeah.
MSRP is 99.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is that Cool Stuff is trying to gouge, whereas Miniature Market is not. If that matters to anybody,
Right.
whereas
what else can I say about it?
so are they like
Art
are they
design.
made up like things, or is it
No, it's all like real technologies. Like every technology is based on a real thing.
what I mean is it made up are they is it made up civilizations? Is it like Germany? Is it the Vikings?
No. It's all, they're all abstract, like inventors or isolationists or futurists. Or I played the Alchemist in the last game, which I thought was pretty interesting. It was a push your luck mini game at every era for me. I could do a mini game of pushing my luck. Didn't work.
I wonder if Fun Again's going to cardboard caravan any of those.
Possibly.
Is that working on the site yet, Scott?
Yeah.
Because what it came up and said it wasn't.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. We need a filter for Cardboard Caravan because right now it's just under the pre-order button. Like if you click on one of if it just says pre-order on it, that's a Cardboard Caravan.
Well, I did that, but my only option was to pick up at Essen when I did it the other day.
So if it says pre-order $25 or a price in the button, then you can only pick it up at Essen. If it just says pre-order, like we need like a little logo for like Cardboard Caravan, like some kind of little nomenclature.
Yeah, if only you knew a guy.
But if it, we'll get on it.
Yeah,
Still got time.
So if it's got the money in it, it's only at
It's only pick up at Essen. If it just says pre-order, it'll pop up and it'll give you the options to pick it up at BGGCon or get it mailed to you. I thought it was really good. I mean, it'll definitely be a top game for me this year. I want to play it more.
Such a crybaby, Richard. What did you have to wait? Like 30 seconds?
That is much better than your previous record, I have to say. Well done, sir.
What happened?
I was assuming he was to him. Great stuff. The one I can't pick
absolutely.
Let the fuckage begin.
Yeah.
I want Cooper Island, and it's not on the Cardboard Caravan. Why not?
What's Cooper Island?
It's some kind of cool-looking pirate game from Capstone at Essen.
Oh yeah, no, I thought that was on there. No,
It's got dollar signs on it.
oh well, then it means pick it up.
Yeah, I know.
We could probably. Here's the deal. Lance now works for Fun Again, so
And the Lorenzo
What?
card game. Also, I can't get on Cardboard Caravan. Nothing on my list except for nothing on my list can I get there.
Yeah, they're going to be putting stuff in as it goes forward.
Okay.
My understanding is that we're going to launch I should say we. I mean, I didn't do any work on the website, but I mean, there's going to be a new Fun Again website very soon, and that's going to have a lot more information about the Cardboard Caravan on it, as well as a link that will take you. If there's a certain game you look for at Fun Again, it'll take. And there's a Cardboard Caravan. There'll be a link that'll take you right to BGG to handle that. And we are. And I've seen the list of the games. It's changing every day. So, yeah, don't worry.
Richard, did
So
you
on and
post
so
your
forth.
final thoughts for Tapestry yet?
Oh, yes, I did. I
The worst.
slept in and I was a half an hour late, and by the time I woke up, I'd gotten over a dozen emails saying, "Where's the damn? We've been waiting 3 weeks."
September
Very
4th,
silly.
midnight.
Yeah. What?
12:01 a.m. on September 4th.
Oh,
Yeah,
Heavy is,
something like that.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown, right?
Yep. And
How does it work for 2?
oh, it's great. It's fantastic. I played it now 8 times, solo and 2-player only. And yeah, I played it with and without the Shadow Empire. I would definitely recommend with. It works really nicely to give a 3-player feel without bogging the game down at all. It's a really simple little system that just creates more tension when you're racing up, the 4 different tracks, because he will beat you on some of those tracks. There's no getting around it.
Right.
And it also then reinforces the notion that, as I'm trying to increase my technology, I have a player to my left and to my right, since that's such a big part of the game, is paying attention to what other people have mastered so that you can get techs that will piggyback off of them,
right,
which is very nice too. So I was really happy with it.
My first game, I played no technology. I didn't advance it a single time, and I won with 200 plus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Viable. I'm really surprised. Jeremy, Man vs. Meeple, they kind of dropped a little bit of a not all tracks are created equal vibe. They didn't come out and say it, but they kind of implied it. And so I've just been getting questions left, right, and center. Is science useless? Like, no. It can be useless depending on who you are. It's just depending on what your tapestry cards are and what your civilization is, you should push one way or the other. So anything could be useless under certain circumstances.
Yeah.
But
my second game, I went a pure science, and it was 84 points.
Oh, really?
Well, you advance too quickly, and you don't get many of the bonuses.
Mm-hmm. Oh, because of how you.
So you don't get a lot of resources, which resources is the lifeblood of the game.
Do you remember what civilization you were doing that with?
Yeah, that was alchemists. So I was getting those too.
I think science is going to be better if you're like, what's it? The Entertainer. There are a few of them that, hey, all we do is we just give you extra resources, and you have control over it, and you kind of need that to make up for the fact that you're skipping over so much stuff with science. At least that's been my experience. I did do a science-heavy game once, and I didn't win. Jen won, but I did okay. I certainly did a lot better than 84 points.
Yeah,
I think we generally score
out, right. I'm reevaluating the game when I played it, and it's like, well, I didn't do much exploration, and exploration is like free actions because you get resources when you explore.
Oh, yeah, totally.
No, it's a really cool game. I definitely want to put more.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's the game of the year as far for my taste, easily. And having played it 8 times now, I did try to rate it on my overall, and it is currently sitting at my number 14 of all time.
Wow.
I like it. It's like, I said in my video, it's like Jamie literally made it for me and Jen. Every single thing that I like, every single choice that could be made, it's like he made them with me and her in mind. I know he didn't, but it felt that way. It's just perfect. If it's
so the attacking is just fine for you.
Oh yeah. I guess
it's kind of like Scythe, right? Like where if you attack twice and win, you're kind of done attacking, unless you want to block somebody. It's like Scythe,
suppose. If Lance or a Lance-like person wanted to be really aggressive, you could go overboard and try to cut people off. Because that's really, me attacking you or me booby-trapping you when you try to attack me, really all that does, because you still get all your resources out of it, all that does is it means you can't expand in that direction anymore. Because now, okay, I've made a wall. There's no more expansion in this direction. So I guess someone could try to be super aggressive and completely ring somebody off from the rest of the world.
Yeah.
I don't think Lance will like this game.
It sounds like
I really don't.
I did that in my game, but nobody cared because there's other things you can do.
Exactly. Yeah. If you shut me off from the rest of the world, okay, well, I'll just go inward then.
Yeah.
And I'll beat you on tech, or I'll beat you on science, or what have you.
But I wanna grind your
bones in the dust.
I want to grind your bones in the dust and feast upon your children.
Well, you would get the equivalent, because if I have just played the tapestry card that says I get double the resources every time I expand, or I get, there's one militarism or something like that where you get resources normally you get the resources when you expand. That's kind of like expand and exploit at the same time.
What the hell is happening to Jim?
Attacked by a dog.
My 2 newbies. I have 2 newbies, Loki and Juno.
Thor.
That is lovely. What do you? I'm sorry, I'm late.
I gave it positive. It's a great game.
Yeah.
It's a special game. One, the Civ games are so hard to come out. They don't come out that often. So
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yep.
And it's fun to see what happens because it's so crazy. Like, have you played with the one that puts buildings on the actual board, like on the map?
No, I have not.
Yeah. Which is the person who played the Angel, she expanded half the map because she can use her buildings as structures. Which is
Okay.
awesome.
Oh, you mean the little buildings, like the armories and whatnot?
All the little buildings and
Yeah.
and the special ones too.
I mean, that's amazing. I mean, I think there's like 16 different, and they're all different. They all are game changing, game breaking.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, oh my God, I can't believe you just played that. That's so powerful. Yeah, look in your own hand. You've got just as many. It's not quite as far as what's like the Glory to Rome is the poster child for that, where everything seems so amazing it's broken. But Tapestry definitely has that kind of feel, which I really like. And it's so fast, which I guess would probably be a downer for some people. But at this point, we can play it faster than, anything really. Other than like,
oh God, I bet you could finish in an hour.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, we've played it enough now. We're pretty quick.
Yeah.
I'd like to play it right now, but I'm
Are we
happy
still
to
talking about Tapestry?
There's a learning curve there. Like I couldn't see my pieces on the board from where I was sitting. I was playing the white color, which blends into the map in all the tracks. So I did was I had the research table in front of me, and I used little cubes for that to know where I was. So I basically played with the player aid. Didn't even have to look at the board. Crazy.
Well, I'm sorry. Okay, so Aldi and I like it. I love it. Aldi seems to like it quite a bit, and it was only $70, which surprised everybody. Hooray!
It sold out.
Oh, really?
Yep. I thought it was available, but when you click it, it actually says what sold out.
That's too bad. I mean, it was what was
the right number to order to sell out 25,000 copies in a day? Would you order 50?
25,000 copies.
And he basically had to front all that money, right? He's not doing Kickstarter, so that's 25 times whatever, probably a quarter of that price, 20.
I imagine he has plenty of scythe money lying around to cover such things, I would assume, at this point.
Yeah,
here's a question.
A lot of people have $500,000 just sitting there like, hell yeah.
Guys like Jamie or Gloomhaven, Isaac Childress, are they rich now?
Don't know.
Based on, just the insane success. I put it to the nice lady in the top. I mean, please.
He can afford to buy gum. Let's say that, I'm sure.
I don't know what this is. This is a new chapter for Lance. I don't know what this portends.
Just my wiener dog.
And she's adorable.
She is adorable.
Yep, she's 14, if I recall correctly.
She is 12.
12.
12.
Yep. Dogs have this impact on conversations.
Yes, they
do. But anyway,
do.
I'm sorry. Is Jamie rich? Is Isaac Childers rich? I mean, when you have like these small little 1 to 2 or 3 shop and they're doing just such insanely nonstop sales. I mean, they must be making quite a bit, right?
I would suspect so.
I assume,
Yeah. I mean, doing some quick math on Gloomhaven, right? Like, I mean, they pretty much only sold it direct.
Yeah.
So, when you're getting almost 100% of the, your shipping, but you charge shipping too. You charge shipping. He probably undercharged on the first round, but I bet the second round was pretty close. Pretty close.
I mean, I certainly don't begrudge him. I mean, they deserve it. Those are amazing games. It's just amazing to me. I guess it's fantastic that someone could get rich making a board game now. That certainly seems to be unthinkable.
Well, what's your definition of rich?
I'm just gonna say millionaire.
Net
worth of $1 million or over. Just to keep it simple.
So like 1/78 of Scott Alden.
I knew you were going to say that. Oh my god!
Yeah.
I mean,
sorry, that was like the weak glob. I had to.
Yeah, you had to spike it.
Yeah, there was no effort at all.
Yeah, none. It was low hanging fruit, but I was fine with it.
Would $1 million be rich anymore though? I mean, Jamie's pretty young. That ain't lasting him another 40 years or whatever. You know.
I would not consider $1 million rich anymore.
Well, you know what?
It's
Then
comfortable.
I'll
It's comfortable. It's very
Yeah,
comfortable.
it's comfortable, but
I'll take that $1 million anytime you want.
Yeah,
You
you're
know,
not going to retire on $1 million from.
Oh,
Watch
you totally could. It's just a matter. It
Watch
depends on what
me.
your lifestyle
Let's ask
is.
Richard. Richard did it.
I retired early on a
Yeah.
fuckload less.
True.
Although now, cut 8 years later, and here I am making YouTube videos for.
Shill.
Yep. Chilling for my little slice of that sweet board game pie. But no, that was not the original plan. I can certainly confirm that we had nowhere near a net worth of $1 million a decade ago. I mean, I guess that's fair enough though. It was almost a decade ago that I quit, and Jen said, "Yeah, I've run the numbers. I think we can do it. We just have to basically batten down the hatches and probably move to a really low cost of living place."
And do you like ramen?
Hmm?
And you like ramen?
Oh God, no. I'm a low carber, but no.
Bologna
the main thing
bologna
is
and
raise our
cheese.
own food, which is what we do to keep costs down.
There you go.
Did you keep your cash liquid, or did you is it invested?
What's that?
Are you invested with the cash you had, or did you liquidate it all?
Oh no. Well, Jen would be better suited to talk about that, but we have. I mean, mostly, most of our network is in real estate because when I was like you, Aldi, pulling in six figures, I assume in the
Not
video
at
game
3D
industry.
Realms. Not at 3D Realms. Not at 3D Realms.
Oh my God, really?
This was the 90s, dude.
Jeez Louise.
I think I started at.
Well, that's not a Texas thing. When I was at Edge, I was like at 140, 150.
That's way more than what I made.
Just like to point out that these basically the rich guy from Monopoly and the two of them are just in there gabbing. Whereas the guy that has money,
when I worked,
Mr. Tapestry, is just keeping his mouth shut.
I worked. The independent studios don't have a lot of money, right?
Yeah,
at Richard, we never really made it.
I wasn't director. I was basically director level. So.
Yeah, you were director level.
Yeah, and you were like senior lead coder level, right? So I guess that makes sense.
I don't even know if I was that.
Oh, wow.
There was no lead coders when I worked. Although the owner of the company at Ritual, the two owners were like the leads, but I was the third. But
Okay.
everybody at Ritual made the same amount. That was their rule.
Oh, all right.
I made the same as the owner. Now, I didn't share any profits. Honestly, I don't even think we ever made profits. Half-Life destroyed us, basically.
Bad timing, definitely.
Yeah, it was really bad timing. It's super depressing.
Yeah. Well, sorry to bring it up.
No, it's fine. That's ages ago. It made me a more rounded person. It was definitely humiliating, though.
Yeah. Well, you hadn't
Humbling.
gotten
Not
to that,
humiliating,
you
it's
are
humbling.
now.
It's humbling.
Oh God, yeah.
When you think
What
you're
the hell
doing
is
one of the
that?
best games ever on PC, and it paled in comparison to Half-Life.
You're talking about Sin, right?
Yes, and it was so weird because when I worked at 3DFX, I would visit. I was a developer relations, right?
Mhm.
So I would go to all the companies and see the games in progress, and I would show them how to use the technology, right? If they didn't already know how, most of them did. But I went to go see Half-Life, and when they showed me the game, I was like, okay, yeah, that's cool, but didn't look like anything of what came out.
Yeah, really.
Nothing. That was a super secret, top secret. They did something there. They made a deal with the devil in the year between the time I worked at 3DFX and the time I finished Sin. Something magical changed in that company, and
It was the crowbar.
There you go. Yep, that's all it takes.
Honestly, I mean, I think they rewrote the game, and since the time I had seen
This
it.
isn't a story where okay, I'm going to move into the game industry. I know all the insides. I could go for these Half-Life guys, these Valve guys, whatever. I'm going to Dallas. Was it that kind of situation?
I did not even know. No, I didn't even consider Valve. They weren't hiring. So,
do you think you could have gotten in?
All truth here. I moved back because of a girl.
Oh, really?
Back from California to Dallas because of a girl, and I had the 3 different companies. I got an offer from Rebel Boat Rocker, Ion Storm, and Ritual. And my buddies who worked at 3DFX worked at Ritual, so I went there because I knew them, and it was just a cool rock star it was super cool, like to go in and see an indie game studio in progress and working, and they all worked in one office. It was really cool.
Why did you pass on Ion Storm? Did you get a bad feeling about it?
No, I think the Ritual was just Ion Storm was huge. I think they had like over 100 employees when they first started. I mean, I walked into the room and they weren't not in their new offices yet. Although had I interviewed in their new offices, I probably would have went there because it was at the top floor of the Dallas. I forget the building, the Chase building in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
They had the penthouse, right, which was a spectacular office. And Ritual was just like this little scrappy, like 20-person team. And it was 100 and something people, and I'm like, you know what, I'll probably fit in better here. Plus, I knew most of the people there, and I liked them, so that's what made the decision.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
I fully expected when you said I did it for a girl, moved there for a girl, that for Lance to say, "Oh, and what did Michelle think about that?"
Yeah, I didn't have yet.
There. I think somebody needs to get over there and check on him.
Well, in the semi-immortal words of Al Bundy, men have been doing stupid things for women since the beginning of time.
Yep. It lasted about a year. And then I went back to interview with Valve for a different position, and I did not get hired. I did not get an offer.
Missed the window.
I had to interview with every single person in that company, and it was very intimidating. And this was way after Half-Life came out. And I was just like, I guess I didn't fit the bill. It was fine. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have. You never know. I might not have done board games.
Perhaps you had that board game stench
interesting on. These currents in your life and trying to think back through them and like, well, how did you end up where you are? Weird.
Well, it worked out okay.
Yeah, no complaining.
Yeah.
Although I really would have liked to work for Valve. Yeah, getting that Half-Life 2 money. My coworker, so the guy who brought me to Ritual, him, Gary McTaggart and Charlie Brown, which you may have met. So, they went after 4 months at Ritual. They quit and went to Valve. And I'm like, I'm finishing Sin. It's going to be huge. It's going to be awesome.
It should have been.
I'm going to make $1 million. And no. They were like, okay, man, good luck.
It was well received, right? I mean, it must have done okay.
Oh, yeah.
Or did it just completely disappear under the shadow?
I think they sold 40,000. 40,000 in video games is nothing.
Yeah.
You want them. You want at least 100,000, if not 1 million, right? And the first Penny Arcade comic is based on Sin, so I have that notoriety as well.
So
that was not my bug though.
Not have the cachet yet to catapult you to the top.
No, it's a bad comic too. It makes fun of Sin.
One
of the guys is hanging himself because of the load times.
And I have to admit, all I remember about Sin at this point is how tickled I was that I could type in ATM codes.
Yes,
and
that was all me.
That you just knocked out of the park in the first level. That stuff was just so much fun.
That was all me. The ATM.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I coded that thing.
You changed my life.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about us.
So Penny Arcade destroyed you. They kind of made me. Rahdo runs through, because when I started doing this, I was still using my iPhone, and I mean I wasn't hardly getting any views at all. Just for the heck of it, I printed out my own copy of a prototype for Ground Floor when it was on Kickstarter from Tasty Minstrel, I guess.
Yeah.
And I just did it for Jerry, the writer guy from Penny Arcade, he posted saying, "Thank God this guy made a video so I can decide whether to back it on Kickstarter." And I mean, you can see that was the first spike I ever got. I mean, I was just flatlining and then just boom. I just got a ton of subscribers because of that.
Those video game guys wield a lot of power.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally.
The Shut Up and Sit Down guys, they come from video games as well. So it's all, they brought in a huge following.
Yeah. Don't need to talk about the Shut Up and Sit Down guys, though. That's okay. I've talked about them enough for the last month.
Oh, yeah.
Why? What's your problem?
Some kind of fake.
You were unaware of my apology tour?
No. What's going on?
It's not even worth you bringing it up.
A couple of months ago in my podcast, God, I remember what it was. Oh, no. Somebody had asked me, did I think it was wrong of me, or should I be talking about price points for games in my videos? Because I don't. I actually, that's like an editorial stance, because I don't feel I should, because I get all my games for free. So my view of the value of games is completely skewed and out of touch with reality. And there's a million reasons I don't think it's right. Or not right. I don't think it's the right thing to do for me. And I mentioned, other other channels do, like Shut Up and Sit Down, but I really think it leads to a bunch of problems on their show too. And I mentioned a couple of examples about it, where it's just like, it leads to inconsistencies and stuff like that. And I was just using them. But I was just like pointing out, they choose to do it. Here's why I think it's a bad move. And that led to, on my guild, on Board Game Geek, several people saying, "Whoa, Rado, you're throwing shade at Shut Up and Sit Down. Those are great guys." I'm like, yes, they're fine. They're great guys. And I thought it was no big deal. It was just like a quick discussion. I went into a little bit more depth, and that was it. And then on the next month's podcast, completely coincidentally, they came up again because I was talking about Bargain Quest. And why is Bargain Quest like ranking so high on the Gen Con preview list? Because it was exploding hugely. I had no idea why. And I thought, oh, maybe it's because of the Shut Up and Sit Down guys. I saw they did a really nice video. And I just made a joke about, I hope they use their power wisely. They don't. And then and that was just a little throwaway line that I was referring to the previous month, where I had kind of an offline discussion about how I didn't mean to attack him. And so I was just like jokingly referencing my faux attack. And that became the center of, it's a 12-page thread on Board Game Geek called Rado versus Shut Up and Sit Down, and I got so many emails. I got hit up on Twitter. I got hit up everywhere. There was like a very long, like 200-post thread about it on Reddit, about how I was, trying to tear them apart and who was right and who was wrong. And it's like, fuck, I just made a dumb little joke. It was a terrible joke.
Dude,
and
that amped up your views by 1 million, I bet, that day, because everybody had to go listen to it.
That's a good point.
A spike on that video.
If it had been a video, but it's in the middle of like a 3-hour podcast, so that doesn't help.
It's on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
That's how I listen to you on YouTube.
I
don't do podcasts anymore.
So I felt, well, geez, I got to do damage control here, because I didn't mean anything by it. I didn't really mean to imply that they were abusing their power as like the second most popular, or third most, I guess, depending on how you want to rank things. It was just a joke, but everybody took it very seriously. And so I had to go to the Shut Up and Sit Down guild and post an apology there with an explanation and stuff like that. And then I just filmed my most recent podcast because, of course, there were several people who brought it up again, because, they sent me questions to questions@rado.com right when it was happening. And then a month later, now I got to dredge the whole thing up again. And that led to a big thing about Rado's becoming a grumpy Gus, and he's really changed. And I remember when he used to be this way. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, it was just a fucking joke. It was a bad joke.
It's weird how your words, can be twisted.
Yeah.
Never interact with anyone.
I swear.
Never.
The epicenter of displeasure or stress in my life comes from the fact that I have this stupid policy of, if anybody asks me a question, I answer it in good faith. I should just walk the fuck away from all social media. I already pay Paulo to cover all my goofs and stuff like that. I could probably pay him a little bit more and have him take care of anything else that comes up.
You can do your social media.
Yeah. Because it's and I know it's stupid. I want to complain and I shouldn't, because it's all 95% positive and upbeat, but it doesn't matter. 99 people could say, "Wow, you're great," and when that 100th person punches you in the nose, that's all you care about. That's all you remember.
Yeah.
That's like that episode of The Tick.
Yeah.
Have you seen the reboot of The Tick, the last version?
I have not watched the new season.
Which they canceled, which pisses me off. But anyway, go ahead. Oh, yeah, they canceled
The
it.
hero Superior found one person didn't like him on social media. Found all out of shape. He had to make that person like him. And it just set off this whole sequence of events, which is just miserable, because how can this person not like me on social media? It was brilliantly done.
Yeah, it was. And it is true. It's like, you always remember those shitty moments, right?
Yep.
I'm currently afraid to post on my BGG thread. I don't know how to respond to it, honestly.
You're talking about the new front page?
The new front page.
The response has to be better, right? I just didn't have the strength after the Bernie debacle.
No, it's been fine. It's been half of the posts there, half of them are positive and half are super negative.
Really? What
Oh,
do
yeah.
they possibly complain about?
I
It's
can,
just
the
I can
internet.
iter- I can
Everyone.
iterate it for you if you want. I mean, we spent hours debating things, and it's sort of insulting to say that we just threw it together. We did not.
Yeah.
But whatever the choices we made, we're trying to simplify the page. Now we took away some things that were there before.
I mean, I've only looked at it a little bit because I never used the front page anyway, and I look at it now, and it looks exactly the same to me, except there's a bit more white space and the kerning on the fonts is different.
Yeah,
Right.
there's a few more things, but it's not. I mean, you wouldn't notice it unless you're just really hardcore.
Well, the
Unless
best part.
you're two screens.
Yeah, it fits on one screen now, like a mobile phone works.
Yeah.
The mobile is
I thought it was
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
I look forward to forums doing this. That will be wonderful.
Yeah, that's next on my list.
So the best part about that thread is that it'll die down and like nobody will say anything, and then just some Jacoby comes in and just throws a fresh pile of gasoline on the embers
Yeah.
and then walks away.
Wait, nobody's bitching. Let's start it up.
How often do you do that, Lance?
It
What?
fits on a phone.
I know.
I don't have to pinch and zoom anymore. Look at that.
Yeah.
What is the compromise you made? I mean, you can still. I was shocked that you're still allowing people to modify it and turn on and off modules. I did not expect that at all.
It's the same system. We just made it responsive, and
Yeah.
we took away the clutter. We took away some clutter that was functional. It was a functional thing.
And loss of clutter is what people are complaining about.
Well, there's some functionality lost too, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a pager, jump to last page button that used to be there.
Oh, okay. So there's a few. Yeah.
A couple links are put behind a pull down, so that's 2 clicks instead of 1.
You do have pull downs. I'll be honest. There is nothing more painful on your site than trying to delete something from your collection. It's like 20 clicks you gotta go.
And I think we're going to probably come back to that.
There's not 20 clicks to delete something from your
It's 20
collection.
clicks.
It's 15.
It's a lot.
To delete something from my collection? No, it's not. It's like 3 clicks.
So I think it might be like 4. But
Now you
3 clicks, literally 3 clicks.
we talked about that a lot, and we were like, we don't want to make it too easy because people
really?
are deleting stuff like willy-nilly. Yeah. I don't
All
know.
right.
We'll come back to that. Kyle, so Jordan was the original designer of that, and he has a different philosophy than Kyle. Kyle has a completely different philosophy about things. So
4.
we may run back around to the
It
in
is
10 years. In 10 years, we'll run back around to the board games.
Yeah.
Redo it.
I just checked it, Keith. 5 clicks from start to finish.
I just deleted 3 clicks from the main page.
What do you mean the main page?
You're doing it wrong.
How did you do it in 3 clicks? You are a liar, Keith.
I am not a liar. I go to my main page. On the main page, in my quick links, I have my collection. I click that button. It takes me to my collection. 1 click.
Okay, yes.
Are you
That's-
doing-
Click 2. I click the X, delete this button item next
you're
to
talking
the
about
game. 2
status
clicks. I have a
menu.
confirm. 3 clicks. Done.
Do it from the front page of any game.
Why would I do it from a game page?
You have to
Do it from
go
your
to
collection if you're going to delete it from your collection.
It's like 4 or 5. There's literally 5 steps you have to
You're
do.
doing it wrong.
I hear you. I hear you. But don't worry.
And all of them hits the collection page, and all the status functionality gets ripped out. Then you'll be on the front line
Richard, why would you delete something from your collection?
because I got rid of a game.
Oh, you could write
Because I had conflict.
previously
That's
owned.
why.
I'm sorry, what?
Previously owned.
No.
But don't you have ratings?
Unfortunately, with the way you do your categorization, I have to previously owned has to have a very specific meaning, and it does not mean. I mean, basically, previously owned is how I flag things that I've actually put descriptions as to why I got rid of something. Because you can go to gone@rado.com and see my negative review of every game I've ever played. Because everybody says, "Oh, Rado's not negative." Okay, there's like 400 games that I complain about shit. If you want it. And so I have to mark those as previously owned so that they can keep the descriptions. And for games that I just literally got rid of and are like, okay, I'm not going to play this thing. It's just totally not for me. Or I temporarily had it in my collection so that I could put it on my voting list, but it was only a prototype and I never got the real thing. Those I have to permanently remove because it's a different function.
I hear you.
I
Sorry,
permanently got stuff.
I'm sure that's very boring. So boring, in fact, that Lance is more
Gone.
He's gone. Where did he go?
Turned into
We got
John
John
Rock.
Rock. Yeah, we got John Rock.
He's a shapeshifter. He
Went into the
shapeshifted.
light and John came out, it would appear.
Hey, John, when's the new King's Armory coming out?
Launch date is October 28th.
Okay, right during Essen. Perfect timing.
That's not good timing.
I hope remind me to back you when we get back because I will probably forget.
It's
I always like there's always like a gap in my Kickstarter backing. It's always during the cons because I don't.
Yep,
in time.
totally. Well, we're not doing Essen this year, and October 28th is the 6-year anniversary of the original launch.
Wow.
So,
Time
Wow, has it been that long?
I know. I
already?
can't believe
Damn.
6 years is ridiculous, but it's true.
You wanna?
I think you're gonna do real well.
I hope so.
I think the original TKA was ahead of its time.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean, you were. I mean, you rightly claimed to be the first, tower defense-y style board game. I mean, maybe you weren't the first, but I mean, you were certainly the first popularization of that idea brought to cardboard, right?
Yeah. Thanks.
Yes, you could say something like Ghost Stories is a tower defense game, but not really.
There was a previous Kickstarter tower defense game which was just cards. Do you remember that one? Do you know?
Sure.
What I'm talking
I remember there was Plants vs. Zombies. Or no, that's the video game. There was Goblins versus Zombies.
I'm trying to remember the name. I still have
That
it.
came way after.
Sure. I mean, and then there's Castle Panic, which of course came along before me, but that's an awesome game, but it's not the online
Yeah,
genre.
it's about the paths that they follow, and I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
Castle Panic is maybe super duper just scratching the surface, whereas you dove into the deep into the pool.
Thanks. I think this is
Are you modifying it much, or is it mostly the same?
Huh?
Are you just has it been modified rules wise, or is it?
rules are 99.99% exactly the same because mechanically the rule system is exactly what I wanted it to be. We are making like a few statistical changes. They're like peripheral changes. All the heroes come with minis now in the box. So
Really, I'm really interested in this because I remember I covered it, and when you first contacted me about it, you had a completely different approach to how the monsters were going to work. And because you didn't do it, I just said, okay, well, I'll just stack them up on some shits I had from some game. And you saw the video and you said, okay, I'm doing that because
it's
it's
a good idea.
cost in half or something like that.
Yep.
Are you doing whatever your big original plan was now?
No, that is still a way more money than it's worth, and everybody, it's basically like the hero clicks hit point methodology of like.
That's right. Yes, you were going to have dials. That's right. Yeah.
Everybody that I know who's played hero clicks has been like, the general concept's not worth it. I like the chits. I like the hit points. I like seeing the hit point stack get smaller as I kill the monster.
Yeah, it's a great visual representation of how strong they are.
Exactly. So we're keeping that the same, but they're all having their own minis now. We have I actually Richard, because I think Lance was speaking to you. You're actually my motivation again for another cool thing. I actually just recently typed up the whole what's new in the second edition thing. So I have a whole like a 1-page Word doc of what that is. So off the top of my head, there's a few statistical changes. There are a couple like monsters that people are like, this game's stupid because you can't kill the Windrake. So like, all right, I've heard that enough that it's people's fun. So let the rule of fun make that creature more approachable. So there's a couple of those things. Nothing that breaks the game. Rebalance of money, so there's more cash to play with. And then a lot of the changes are coming in the meta expansion that's coming with it.
Barry, are you okay?
I'm fine. Cat.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. In slow motion, Barry just kind of just violently shifted off screen.
No, at least he didn't fall off his damn chair in front of everybody.
Slow motion violence.
We take that for you, Keith.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to say good night, everybody.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Have a great
How's
night.
your Kickstarter going? Are you doing Kickstarter for the Frog Gods game?
No.
No. Okay. Just
Nope.
gonna print it like old school.
No,
Yeah.
Jim's rich and rolling in dough. He just prints
No, I actually just got the estimate for the molds the other day to do the minis. It's going to be they went 9,000 for the molds, and it'll be about 50
One
cents.
mold? Or are you doing more than one mold?
It's got to be two,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
and they've got to have inserts in them so that each frog can be different color plastic.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I want neoprene mats. The game is probably about 50% different from when you guys played.
Really?
No more chips. I went with dice. And coming back from the outer dimensions is a lot more exciting. Yes,
Good, because that sucked.
Yeah.
no, I thought it was fine. In fact, the only person that complained about it of, I think, 15 play groups was you.
Well,
You
I
guys
was the
weren't
only
there.
one that got kicked into the 35th outer dimension for the entire.
No, I had a guy
Audi laugh
knocked
at me.
out 6, and he had no more turns, and he came back and won the game.
What?
So,
Oh,
yeah.
because nobody could mess with him.
Well, no, people fucked with him, and he just came back.
Hey, rule of thumb. It's like the Windrick that you can't kill. If somebody says
There you go.
it kills
Yeah,
the fun. You know, you make
Rule
a
of
change
small
and it's
numbers.
okay.
So the vault structure is different. You can now stack lands in the vault. You can use oomph now to dedicate your vault to defend it from raids. So there's a whole bunch of new stuff. But component-wise, I'm still trying to do neoprene mats, wood lands, and plastic frogs.
Have you ever
And-
thought, you can do Kickstarter for a printed product.
It's
You
gonna
can-
be so expensive.
I don't want to do Kickstarter. I don't want to deal with backers.
Understood.
No, sorry. I don't
The overhead is just too. Now, when I retire in 3 years, then I may have to do Kickstarter. But for now, I just assume remain independent.
Yeah.
However, here's the important news. The important news is next year for the release of Gen Con, I'm going to have dancers again. I have 3 dancers lined up.
You're going to do the native frog.
You're getting Lance to wear a frog costume?
No, I got the professional ballet dancers coming. So they'll wear the frog costumes, and they'll look much better than Lance. Less hair.
You should have like a sumo wrestler dressed up as a dancer that gets up on the table and jumps on the table to crush the terrain into the outer dimension. This whole thematic thing. I'm just saying.
So the massive power now, you can pay oomph, and when you land on a hex, you can give everyone around you knockback. So it's just pretty brutal.
Yeah, that game was really, really good. I liked it.
Well, thanks. I think you're going to really enjoy the new version of it. It plays faster, plays 5 people in about an hour. So,
That's crazy good. Yeah.
it'll be really fast.
Single wham, get in there and duke it out.
The problem is it looks like it's asking for an $80 to $90 price point. So
It's fine. I mean, if your standard is wood tiles, like nobody's gonna be upset at the price point.
well, with minis, I don't with the tall minis, they're like almost 2 inches tall.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be helpful too.
You're gonna get robbed to paint them.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Paint them on air. Paint them for everybody. Send your minis to Rob and let him paint them.
I should totally do that.
Absolutely.
You
If
should have done
Rob's
it this
in
week.
love with the King's Armory, like he's probably in like my top 3 King's Armory fans of all time. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
like no joke. I mean,
Rob would
Out of
do
the
it for you,
4, out of the 4, he's the number 3. I'm just
All right. Well, I got to get to bed. I got to work tomorrow. So
all right,
great
good night.
meeting you guys. I hope you all have a
Yeah.
wonderful week, and I'll chat with you later.
take it easy.
All right, so I pulled up that sheet, so I don't have to just flounder on my words. All right, so there's
Okay.
minis. The box size is 225% the original size. So now it's huge and it
You
fits
can fit all the stuff in there. It was a tight fit.
every possible expansion in the core box.
What about the towers?
What's that?
What about the towers?
Including towers while assembled.
Okay.
So it's like Heroes of the Land, Air and Sea. It's like,
Yep. So we did. We redid a bunch of monster art. There are a couple pieces of art that left a little bit to be desired, so we changed that. The wave card. So the way you summon monsters, there's no 2 variants. There's the original one where you would roll for the random monster for every random monster, and it gave you a balanced game over the course of it. You might have an easy wave, you might have a hard wave, and you generally had balanced waves. So now there's the statistical averages are computed all to the reverse side of the wave card. So instead of rolling, it says you have 2 level 1s, 3 level 2s, 3 level 3s, 1 level 4, and 1 level 5, and you pull those randomly. So you always have a balance.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
And that also speeds up monster selection because you just go in the
totally.
bag, grab 2 of these, 2 of these, 2 of these, 2 of these, and then you shake them out and then throw them out. Whatever random order they decide to show up.
Yep.
So it speeds up monster selection, which speeds up the game, makes it a little bit more fun. Material upgrades. Number 1 complaint of the King's Armory was my paper towers tear too often. Start making those of better quality, easy fix. And
You should check out. I don't know if you're gonna be able to get access to it, but Tapestry has these plastic coated paper. Have you seen? You know what I'm talking about, Richard?
I thought it was just like some kind of crazy 10 levels of linen or something like that, right?
No, it was weird. I don't know what that process is.
I mean, Jamie's the only one doing it. He did it for Wingspan as well.
Okay, I'll ask him about it.
Yeah, I mean, they're really. I mean, it's very swank.
I don't think you could tear them.
Is it foldable?
Without really messing. I don't think it's foldable. It's almost like a piece of paper covered in plastic, like a scratchy. It's got a texture. I don't know. It's hard to explain. You have to kind of see it in person.
I'll take a look. I'll give him a call.
It's what I imagine plastic or paper used to be like when it was made from hemp, as opposed to plastic.
It's substantial.
Barry just really pitched his eyes up. He's like, "What?"
And then I'm having my my core playtesters, my core playtest group of nine dudes or 9 groups, I should say. Write scenarios and campaigns to be.
Cool.
So now it would be like
very cool.
A one-play scenario that's replayable because King's Armory is all about the replayability. So with variables within the scenario, so playing it solo or in a group, you can play it over and over again, and then some of the scenarios will link into a campaign, which I'm considering legacy aspects to, but I think that might be a whole different ball game to do. That would be a different expansion for a different time to do formal legacy expansion. It's very easy with the King's Armory to do legacy campaigns. So we're like Valcor dies forever, and you have to figure out how to. He doesn't come back the next wave. How do you make that work and things like that? I think would be a lot of fun.
Melt down his mini.
John, a big heavy box like that would probably need a pretty good fulfillment company to help out.
Yeah, if only I knew it acquired by a particular company that would be particularly fun to work with.
Yeah. Again.
It was my first time. I felt cheap making the joke. So, and then there's the expansions if you guys want to hear about those, but there's the awesome expansions coming with the game.
Very cool.
When are you planning on launching?
October 28th.
The middle of nothing.
I know. I mean, I'm sure you've given thought to that, right?
Yes, a lot. It's great for me. I honestly, this sounds so terrible. I don't care about Essen. I had such a terrible experience in Essen. I just don't care about Essen.
So you're doing this despite Essen.
I'm doing it completely indifferent to Essen. I chose the date. I found out that it was the same time as Essen. I said, look, I don't care. If it were the same time as Gen Con, I'd be like, but the percentage of my audience that's in the U.S. and stays in the U.S. and isn't going to Essen, I honestly don't think it's going to affect it much. I really don't.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do you think is Essen the crowd that would be interested in your game to begin with?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Some of them would.
Yes, yeah. So I mean, if you're going to assume that they're all Euro game, then probably not. It's it's kind of dice chucky and fiddly with all the chits and stuff. But I mean, some of our playtesters, it was King's Armory backers that ran my booth with me at Essen. So it's not like I don't have an audience there. They're huge enough fans. It's just a matter of.
Are you going to Essen, John?
I'm trying. What have you told the story? What happened to you there?
Lance, how do you not know the story? So short version, I was robbed.
Oh, that's right. I remember now. You got robbed.
I was put in the furthest possible hall where literally on the busiest time of Saturday at 2 p.m. you could do cartwheels in the aisles and not even risk touching somebody.
Oh.
That's the amount of business that the hall had seen. The Essen company screwed me on advertising. The owner of Essen snubbed me to my face when I was introducing myself and being kind and polite and offering her free product out of kindness. And then net, we lost to $10,000 on the show in our second year as a company. So I don't have any interest in returning to Essen anytime soon.
Wow.
I'm a little bitter. I will admit there is bitterness. I admit
Getting robbed sucks. I'm sure that was.
that there could be better days, but I lost a lot at that show. So including my faith in the show.
So when you say you were robbed, was it literally your cash box from the booth?
During setup days. So at Gen Con, in order to get in during setup days, there's one door and there's guards there that will like tackle and beat you to death if you don't have an exhibitor badge.
But anybody can walk in off the street and walk out with $10,000 worth of games
in Essen
the day before Essen. Anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. So in one of the days of setup, my work backpack just disappeared. It had my laptop that had everything for the whole show. It had all my startup cash. It had personal artifacts from the Holy Land that were blessed by the Pope, like irreplaceable things that meant a lot to me and my family. And it sucked. Like that was the start of the show. It was just it was just a bad thing.
Wow.
So it's over now. That was years ago. We've recovered, but it's still it was a tough thing.
I guess it's one of those life lessons that they're just things. They're just possessions. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
You have to take it that way.
Exactly. So nobody died. I had awesome volunteers who had worked with me at Gen Con who were like, yeah, man, I'll go to Germany. And they paid for their own tickets and everything. And like,
oh, wow.
So it was an awesome experience in people. I had a great time with the people with very little exception. I made a lot of new friends. I met a girl who we now refer to each other as brother and sister. She's from Poland. When I met her, it was neat. I looked at her once. This is a cool story. It was like one of those like kismet moments. You know, I'm a married man. This is nothing sketchy, but I just saw her and I was like, can I give you a piggyback ride? And she was like, yes. And she was like, I don't do things like this. We still keep in touch. I refer to her as my Polish sister. I'm her American brother, and her and her fiance are coming to visit me and my wife. So like super cool. So awesome experience in people, just on the business side of things. Not my favorite moment in time. So whatever.
I could not imagine that going well in Philly.
Hey, you want a piggyback ride? Shank. See, but I'm from Jersey, so I would be wearing like the Nick Foles jersey at the time, and they would probably say yes. So I can get away with that in Philly. Not everyone can. I have family in the mafia. It is what it is.
All right.
I don't talk to them very much, but it's good to know they're there. So yeah,
that is cool. Hey Keith, are you playing Fire Emblem?
Yeah, I am.
I picked it up, but I won't allow myself to play it yet because I have so much work right now with Fun Again. I got to go out to Oregon here in a week to do a little hands-on training. Look, thankfully, I'll be back in time for the boom, so don't worry.
So yeah, this is kind of pathetic. Let's see. Can you see my hours played on that save there?
Yes.
What does that say? 90?
91:58.
Oh, 90.
Oh wow.
I am on my third playthrough.
You're on your third house.
I am on my third house. I've done.
Is it drastically different?
No, but the story is different. Okay. The first half is identical, so you're playing the same thing completely over, just different characters in your house.
Yeah.
And then the second half is where the story morphs based on which house you're in. You reach a point where it changes. And
I was interested in how that game doesn't have as much combat as the originals do. Like only one fight a month.
Well, no, you can do it. No, you've got one mandatory.
And you've got but then you have the practice fights, which I hate.
Oh, they're good for grinding.
Auto battle, yeah, it's grinding.
I've never done an auto battle.
Oh yeah,
I found that Wyvern Riders are my favorite, so I just keep trying to turn everybody into Wyvern Riders because they just wreck face. They're nasty.
Is it Wyvern? I thought it was Wyvern.
I don't know.
Lance knows.
It's probably Wyvern.
I can say it however I want.
Yeah, what's up?
Is it Wyvern or Wyvern?
I think it's Wyvern.
Wyvern. Ah, the third option.
Which or it could be Wyvern. if I went by my name, my last name, it's Mikester. So I guess Wimy, Wyvern.
Richard, you're asking the guy who says rough for
It's a
roof.
made-up word.
John, to access the live comments, you have to go to the actual YouTube page or whatever.
I'll clarify. The dudes riding the flying lizards are cool.
Yeah.
Very good. There you go. That was much more clear.
So, John, I got to
Oh.
ask you a question.
There's a live
what's up,
comments tab on the program for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You want to hear my one little grievance about my game that I like so much?
Go
I was
ahead.
almost 90 hours in before I realized if you go to the map and just click an area on the map, you can fast travel there.
Oh my god, you were walking around.
It was
Oh my God,
90
that's
hours
20
in
hours.
before I found out I
That's
didn't have
gotta
to
be
walk
20 hours of
around.
walking because that stupid map is so huge. Yeah,
I've
as
been
soon as
walking
I
through all
found that out,
those.
I'm like,
So out of those 90 hours, 60 of it's walking.
I think you can even click on the quest and teleport to the guy.
Yeah, you can teleport from the quest. I've done that from my bulletin boards, but I didn't know I could just bring up my map and just warp.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, my life just got so much easier.
So John,
Hold on, this won't last long. It's over. Go.
would you, with your fulfillment, did you just all send out all the stuff yourself before? Like just print off the postage and send it, or did you use a fulfillment company?
TKA 1.0, I kicked it as old school as possible. I invited all of my friends over, and we made a sweatshop in my kitchen and my living room for 12 hours a day
I remember
for
the
4 or
picture.
5 days to assemble all of the possible components, and then did it again the following week to assemble all the shipping.
Well, I mean, how is it possible that you were able to fit your one friend in your apartment?
It was difficult, and then I had to clone him so I could make it plural.
Well, no. I mean, yeah. Well, dimensions and what have you, and approximate weights. Why do it yourself when you can have somebody do it for you?
Because I can save thousands of dollars.
Why do it yourself when you can have somebody do it for you? And also, they can house all your games for you at a very, very cheap fee.
Which I'm going to do with my distributor.
We can, you know what?
Oh,
I'll get you. Don't worry.
All right. I mean, I want to. We had our chat at Gen Con. I wanted to find ways to give you money.
Well, we'll figure it out.
Yep.
Are
Are you on the choo choo? Are you choo chooing
Am I chewing what? What do you mean?
the hype train?
The hype train? Well,
Yeah,
I mean, I need images. I need stuff to hype train it up, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
So-
start sending it over.
Anyway, what was I gonna say? Shoot, I forget now.
Which is awkward because like everybody can hear it right now. It's just weird.
Yeah, we're all like, "What? Somebody else talk?" No. Here, I want to talk about my grievance that I had earlier, though, really quickly.
Oh,
So-
go.
Yeah, so my daughter has been in Spanish immersion for like ever since she was in kindergarten. But when you get into middle school, because she's in 7th grade now, they don't have Spanish immersion anymore because they take language arts. So in order for her not to be in like basic like this is the verde is green, like Spanish, like they put all of the Spanish immersion people in the same pod, and then they take accelerated Spanish classes in there as well. But accelerated Spanish isn't until second quarter. But anyway, she got into pod A, and all of her friends were in pod B, and we were like, that doesn't seem to make sense. And they were just like, oh no, it's just like it's just like just run off into all the other pods, and that's normal. And we were like, that doesn't seem like it really makes sense. It's like all of her, like every single one of her friends is in pod B and she's in pod A, and like everybody was like, no, it's totally fine. So finally, I just called the school today after my daughter's like, I don't have anybody to talk to. I'm like, I feel completely left out, and she's just like, school sucks. I finally called the school today, talked to like the school counselor about it. They're like, no, she should be in pod B. I was like, the principal of the school, to my face, told me that no, it's completely fine. And like, if we hadn't said anything, she would have like gone through like her entire first quarter and then she wouldn't have gotten into her classes that like her accelerated classes for the second thing. I was so annoyed. But anyway,
She gets to swim with all of her dolphin friends in the new pond.
yeah, but we got it fixed. And all of her friends are coming over to play D&D again tomorrow night, which is fun. I like DMing these 4 12-year-old girls come over and eat snacks and play with the cats and play D&D. So, and they enjoy it. So, and it's really cool when you DM young kids because they do the stuff that you stopped trying to do as older RPG people. Like you don't do the crazy off the wall stuff anymore. Like everything's all tactical and I got to make sure I take these right spells and stuff like that. And it's just like kids are the ones that take sticks to snakes as a spell because they don't know any better. And then there's actually a situation where it's like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna like, are there sticks around? Yes, there's sticks around. Why? Well, I'm gonna cast sticks to snakes, and I'm gonna scare the villagers, and then I'm going to steal the beer. You know, like, okay, fine. Just because they actually think of like crazy ways to handle things. But hi, kitty cat. This is the old and busted old kitty cat that doesn't like the kitten at all. So much so that she no longer spends any time with my daughter, who used to be her number one friend in the whole wide world. Somebody else say something, please. Anybody play any games? Scott, tell us about BGG at Sea.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah, it was great.
Maybe your personal bodyguard for the Japan 2020 trip because you need a personal bodyguard who might knows martial arts. I mean, it's Japan.
Right.
If the Yakuza decide to,
I don't know if we announced that yet. Yeah, I have a feeling it's weird. Like I have a feeling it's going to sell out almost instantaneously.
How does that work, Scott? Where do you go from?
So it goes from Vancouver, stops in Alaska for 1 day, and then it goes across Pacific.
Oh wow!
Stays in Japan for like 4 or 5 days. But there's like 6 straight days at sea. Very good for gaming. Oh my god, it's gonna be so good. Wait. Of course, it is a smaller ship. But it's on the Pacific, so it's gonna be a little what?
It sounds kind of terrifying at the same time.
Yeah, I'm almost a little scared.
Like I kind of want to fly to Japan and then get on the boat and like cruise around a little bit. I kind of want to like hit by a tidal wave in the middle of the ocean like those movies I watch too much of.
So what are you talking? A 21-day cruise?
It's 14, I think, or 15.
I thought it was.
Like that.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
It's 6 days total at sea. I thought you meant 6 each way.
Oh, it's 6 straight days at sea.
Okay.
Yeah, but BGGC was great. The hurricane was there, which was kind of interesting. I never saw a drop of rain because they just go all around it. And the only thing that screwed up was our itineraries. We had a BGG sponsored trip to the Arecibo radio telescope in Puerto Rico, and that got canceled because they wouldn't answer the phone. We got to Puerto Rico a day earlier than we were supposed to, so they were not expecting anybody to come. So they wouldn't. Nobody was answering the phone, so we're just sitting there closed.
Is that the thing from GoldenEye?
Yeah, and Contact.
Contact, man.
Yep, that was the True Geek. We had like 140 some people signed up to go on that trip.
Really?
Crazy. And then unfortunately got canceled. Then we went and saw the San Juan forts and Old San Juan, which were really cool too. But it was like stinking hot. I mean, I was dying. I think I sweated half a person. Just so much sweat. But it was fun. It was informative. One of the things I learned that was cool was during the hurricane that just hit them. I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, the hurricane that just hit Puerto Rico. The forts collect fresh water. They have like basins underneath them, so they can collect the rainwater. And so they needed water, and no one knew this except for a few people. So our tour guide basically knocked on the door and said, "Hey, we need water, and I know you have it here because it's going down in the basement." So that was cool, but it was fun. They dodged one of the other ports, unfortunately, Coco Cay in the Bahamas, or St. Martin got canceled. They redirected to Coco Cay. Coco Cay got canceled, but redirected to Nassau. So that
besides
was kind of
Tapestry, what was the best game you played?
Black Angel.
Besides Tapestry and Black Angel, what
Roll
was
for
the
Adventure.
best game
How
you
about that?
played? Besides
damn it!
Tapestry, really? Roll for Adventure?
Letter Jam.
I so want to freaking play Roll
Oh, yeah,
Adventure.
you need to get that, dude. It's real good.
I know. I've been pestering Cosmos for over a year.
Okay, yeah.
Whatever.
We gotta.
Why don't you reach into your wallet, pull out a couple of $20 bills?
If I go out and buy the game, that means it will never get filmed, because it would have to go behind a queue of 50 games that have been sent to me as review copies.
Right.
So if I ever get ahead of my queue, I would then actually cover the game that I bought with my own money.
What if a viewer sent it to you?
Hmm?
What if a viewer sent it to you?
With a $1,000 bill tucked underneath.
That's all. That's interesting. I don't know. I suppose.
That could be an interesting. I don't know if you.
Yeah, if a viewer sent it to me for the purpose of it getting covered, that means it would go into the queue right alongside games that publishers have sent to me for the purposes of being covered. I've got like 20 games over there that I could cover. None of them will ever get covered because I bought them myself. So I'm just not looking to buy any more games, and if I'm not going to cover it, I don't get to play it, because my entire life is just trying to stay ahead of all the games that I have to cover. So that's why I don't go out and buy it. And this is the world's smallest violin playing just for me.
Yeah. It's a job.
But anyway, is that good, huh?
I played it 5 times now. Love it.
Wow. Yeah, it looks really good. I'm excited about it.
The board is double-sided, and I have not even touched its backsides. I've made the monster level harder, but I still have not lost yet. But so I want to get it a little harder. It's great.
You just like it because it's basically Boggle, and Boggle's a word game.
Boggle. It's a word game. It's got letters on it.
Yeah, it's basically a word game.
So the next game I played, Lance, was Letter Jam.
Yes, because if it's a word game, it automatically, like I was talking about this. If
I just named 4 games that aren't word games.
If Scott Alden was Roger Ebert, if it was a word game, it would automatically increase by half a star. So if it was the worst game ever, it would still get half a star. It starts at 1. It can't go below. It can't get any lower.
Oh, I played some bad word games. Horrified is great. Horrified is very fun. Have you guys seen that one?
It's a little simple for me, but yeah, it's good.
It's simple, but it's fun, right? Like, I mean, I like how quickly it moves.
Yeah, my daughter and I enjoyed that. I like that. We gotta. That's like, she was like, "We should do a video of this," and I was like, "I haven't done a video with you in a long time, and I don't really want to have you on a video just because of idiots that say things." So
protector.
Is it so messed up? That drives me up a wall.
Yeah, and I still remember the last one. Well, okay, so here's the thing. Remember when I did that video of Nothing Personal, like the prototype that Tom sent me, and I pretended to destroy it, but I couldn't destroy it because the box was impervious. Like, I threw it off my roof, it didn't do anything. We tried to throw it away, it came back. So the revised edition of Nothing Personal came out, and so I have the original Nothing Personal box. And so my daughter and I are going to recreate that video, and we're just going to beat the ever-loving crap out of that box. But then, of course, I'm giving it away, but I mean, for the 22 people that are watching this right now. So then we'll like, ha ha ha, we'll be all proud, like we'll throw it into the fire, we'll be all proud of it and everything. And then we'll walk back in the house, and there the revised edition will be sitting there, just like, what? Like, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing that. But no, like, I still remember the last video I did with her. She was like, I think she was 5. She was 5 or 6. And somebody made some comment about doing something unimaginable to my 6-year-old girl. And I was just like, yeah. So I was just kind of like, delete, report, and then like,
Stalk on Facebook, find a convention, break neck.
Yeah, yeah, just like,
man. If that happened to you just off of one video, I gotta wonder how much did Tom Vassell, who has put all of his daughters,
he probably never noticed it.
Dozens of videos. I mean, you do that all the time.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. That's,
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
I'm sorry to hear that.
it's probably a very, very small percentage of idiots, and then once
Oh,
you
sure.
once you weed them all out, you block those few people. You don't hopefully have to deal with it anymore, but you got to go through the throes of finding.
Well, how long does it take to create a YouTube account just to make that little comment, right? I mean,
Yep.
it takes 5 minutes,
Yep,
to create a Gmail account.
and using a email randomizer website.
Yeah.
Sure, still a lot of effort to like be an idiot.
It's really not. Go to email generator, create one, log in, create. I got my confirmation, confirmed. Boom, you're in. Less than 5 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and pretty much untraceable.
Yeah, Hotmail will even give you one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, geez. I suppose so. Yeah, I didn't even think of doing it in a moderately. Wow.
Played Die Hard. That was good.
Too
Oh,
much
really?
for me to bother.
Yeah, I thought it was
It doesn't
it's
look
a
very
little
pretty.
slow for my taste. Like I wanted to go because the bad guys have a lot to do in that game. Whereas I was just doing I was playing McLean, and I mean I had my turn done in a flash, and then they have to coordinate, but they have a limited communication system in that game. So it's like, and it's got an interesting mechanism where they're lock breaking too, or safe cracking, which is cool. It's a neat game. It's just a little slow.
So
You
it's,
want
a
it to be more quick. What's up?
it's a one against many.
It's one versus X.
So the playing the one, can you play as the many? I have a lot of issues with that mechanism.
I didn't understand. Say again.
So if you played as the one, McLean sounds like he's the one against the many.
Yeah.
Can you then later play the bad guys against McLean?
Yeah, it has a whole different thought process to it.
So the people that play the bad guys, do they actually play Hans Gruber as a character, or is it just like?
I didn't get to that part, but there is a Hans Gruber character in the game on the third act.
What I mean is that like, do the people, or they just play it communally as the villains, or
the way it works is they play. So it's 3 cards go into the head thief, or the head whatever, head thief. The head thief will show you the card he's playing, or she, and you pass that around. So the other 2 thieves get to see what the master thief is playing. Then those 2 thieves give the master a card. You order them based on their codes. They're like safecracker codes. The card in the middle of the 2 numbers is the actions that will be played. Could be move, could be shoot, could be punch, could be whatever. And you have like a number of bad guys on the board. You get to move any of the bad guys you want to. You don't control a single bad guy. They would just talk and discuss and be like, well, let's move this guy here because it blocks this. And they have a shoot the glass scene, which is pretty fun. All the stuff for the movie is there. It's great.
Jason Invenster.
You have to shoot a guy and throw him out the window to get Cooper.
She's the Fenster.
Yep.
And I love how what? And then he's got to say it in English to the native German speaker.
Yes.
Shoot the glass.
The glass. Shoot the glass. There's
Wait,
no
Die Hard now.
specifically in the game, and if you're standing next to it, you get a damage.
But here's okay.
McLean is really cool because the cards you play in the first act go to the second, and they get They get stronger. So you have a cool deck building thing going on.
That's a scene that always bothered me though. Because here, hold on a second. Answer this for me. So like, if I'm remembering Die Hard correctly, they're like, they don't really care. It's like they can basically lock him out, right? They're like, hey, we'll just shut down the elevators. He's basically stuck. He can't bother us, and that's their whole plan. And then they shoot the glass because basically they're going to run out because they got the detonators back. And then because he knows he doesn't have any shoes on.
Right. He sees his feet with no shoes sticking out.
Yeah.
From the thing. Yeah.
So they shoot the glass and they leave, right? Here's the problem. I've walked on broken glass in bare feet. You don't get all cut up. It's not like.
Depends on the glass.
Yeah, really.
Well, I don't know.
If it is pane glass, you will get sliced to pieces.
Why did
glass? You'll be fine.
like a Romancing the Stone type movie where like you had to do it to prove your worthiness to enter the
No,
temple?
I was dumb and I was like, 'cause I didn't buy into it. Like he's got that giant piece of it wedged in his.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's just like it's like that didn't happen. Yeah, I don't know. I get that it's for a movie and I shouldn't be worried about it, but then again,
Have you seen the Fast and the Furious series?
Yeah.
You might
In
like
a
the
modern office building, it should not have been the type of glass to do that. But
But it was 1987.
yeah, that's modern.
Ah. Well, see, I never assumed that he actually stepped on it. I assumed it was basically like shrapnel because he was just getting completely pelted by glass. It was all just, zipping
covered.
around at very high velocity, and that that's how he got it. Because actually, if I recall correctly, there's a really weird cut there, because they open fire,
Yeah.
they and then next thing you know, just boom, he's dragging himself into a bathroom, and like, how did he get away? If I recall correctly,
I thought they showed him like staring at the glass and like trying to get like he's looking at it, right? And then in the next scene he's in the memory. Anyway, the game's really cool. It has all the iconic stuff. It says find the first act. You have to find shoes that are too small. You have to find a gun. You have to escape. And then you get to the second one. You have to kill the first guard you kill. You have to drag him to the window and throw him out. And then you have to get the detonators and get the explosives and throw them down the elevator shaft. So there's like a lot of flavor of the movie in the game. As like that's your goals as the player.
So it's a family.
The bad guys have other missions too. They're trying to find hostages, trying to crack the codes. I didn't get to the third act because they killed me on my way to I had just dropped the explosives down the elevator shaft, and I was on my way to the exit, and they killed me on the last turn, basically. One step before I got there.
evil triumphs.
But it's a slow paced game because of all the work that the thieves have to do. There's a lot of thinking. Or maybe these guys were overthinking it. I don't know.
I did try Letter Jam, by the way, Aldi.
Yeah. Does it work for 2?
Structurally, it works fine, but it made my brain explode, and I just couldn't do it. It's
definitely challenging.
One star.
4 letter words or 5 letter words?
We were just doing whatever the standard was, which I think is 5.
5. What is Lance doing?
The 1 star. 1 star review from Richard Ham. Letter Jam.
Oh,
one star.
No, I have 1 star on there?
No,
I don't know. I'm just
no.
It's just a callback. A buddy of mine used to. This is neither here or there, but I just thought of this. A buddy of mine used to do back when having websites was like a thing, right? And so there was this website called FargoWeb.com that he and a few people created, and he actually got a little bit of renown locally for doing written reviews of movies, and because he was rather clever, and he'd go and watch every movie, and he'd write 4 or 5 paragraphs of each movie, and he did a review of Car Wash, like the remake with the remake of Car Wash with Snoop Dogg, and mind you, this is an incredibly Caucasian gentleman, but he was like, he did reviews of the movie Spice Girls and Spice World. I apologize. I did want to.
That's Brain Candy movie for sure.
No, but
It was a good movie. I'm just saying.
What was a good movie?
Spice World.
Got Richard Grant in it. I mean, come on.
Who's Richard Grant?
We found out.
I believe you mean Richard E. Grant.
Oh, Richard E. Grant.
I've never heard anybody refer to him as Richard Grant.
I've only ever said Richard Grant. Weird. I've never heard.
You've been wrong.
Richard on a personal basis.
Really? No. Okay. Well, then okay. Anyway, so I can't remember the name of the African American who owned the car wash, because the idea of the thing is that there are all these ne'er-do-wells working at the car wash, but then the owner of the car wash got abducted by bad people. And then the ne'er-do-wells go and rescue him, and then he decides to give them all raises or something to continue working at the car wash because they saved his life. And I can't
I can't remember the name of the comedian. I wish somebody could like help me out. Kabuki Kid usually knows this stuff, but of course not. But
Which
I
movie?
remember what
What movie? Car Wash?
the Car Wash remake with like Snoop Dogg and a few
Okay,
other
okay.
people, and I can't remember it offhand. But if somebody said it, I would say exactly that's him. But
The original.
and
Are you talking about the remake?
the remake.
Okay.
So, but anyway, so like the whole thing is that they like we'll just say his name's John Smith or whatever, and he goes to the whole like thing, and he was just like, as an aside, John Smith is one of the funniest human beings alive on this planet, and his presence alone raises the rating of this movie by 1 star. Craig's final rating, 1 star. Which, like he said, like one of his favorite lines where somebody said, when are you going to be upping my pay? And he said, the moment you can find the word uppin' in a dictionary. Now I got to figure out what that guy's name was.
I can't find the movie. I can only find the original one. I don't think I've ever seen the original one. It's got George Carlin, Richard Pryor. That's awesome.
Oh, because it was called The Wash and not
The Wash.
Car Wash, starring
Wow.
Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. And here we're going to figure out who it is. A cast of
Dozens.
Yeah, cast of dozens.
Tommy Chong.
Tommy Chong. Let's see who else. Come on.
There's nobody in the list that I would consider funny.
Oh,
Or I don't know.
So you're more of a
George
cheap
Wallace.
fan.
That's who
George
it is.
Wallace.
George Wallace.
That was the one person I was thinking of who could possibly be.
Yeah. George Wallace. Yeah, and he was like, yeah, and it was.
Shore was
yes,
man in trunk. Early breakthrough role for him, obviously.
So you guys want another hot take? Final hour. Final hour is pretty good. Pretty fun.
What's Final
A
Hour?
new Arkham Horror 1 hour game.
Oh yeah, that is good. I picked up my copy at Gen Con. I like
It's
that.
super
That was
duper
good.
hard. We basically got 50% win. But it's an interesting mechanicism. Haven't said that in a while.
The official Alaboom word is mechanicism, as determined by Keith Collins.
Yes.
By the professional hanger-on Keith Collins.
It is mechanicism.
Mechanicism.
Because normally Arkham Horror games have like 1 million cards and like tons of text. This has none of that. It has like 7 cards that have text on them. It's neat. I mean, it's like a pandemic type thing, right? Where when the space fills up, it explodes to the next space, and the monsters just kind of flood around the board until they get into your dormitory.
Why did you just have to ruin the game for me?
Yeah, why, Aldi?
Because you just compared it to Pandemic, and now I don't.
Well, how would I compare that mechanicism? What's the
That's
pandemic?
it. And I don't like that mechanism.
Oh, okay.
It's just I don't like it in
something
Pandemic.
totally-
I don't like it in
It's like a tower defense.
what you call it.
The monsters just keep coming in to get into your dormitory, and once your dormitory is full, you lose, or you run out of gate tokens. It's neat. It's simpler than I thought it would be. Thought there would be more to it. More, reading cards and all Arkham Horror games have tons of that stuff. So this is a more pared down game. Everybody gets their own card deck. That's kind of different.
Yeah, I do like that.
And each person has different powers, and you have a power on the top and you have a power on the bottom, and based on when you play it, it either activates the top part of the card or the bottom part of the card, and the bottom part of the card is almost always bad, but it's the only way you can research the solution to win the game.
Well, there you go.
And it has Jenny Barnes.
It does have Jenny Barnes.
And what's the guy with Joe Diamond? The guy with the dog. What's his name? Ashcan Pete. Yeah.
And of course, if it sells well, they'll make 1 million little you want to make sure you can include this guy or that guy or that guy or this guy and stuff like that.
Potentially, but the characters don't have a ton of flavor. I guess the deck is like just their actions they can do, and there's only so many actions you can do in the game, so you don't have a huge space of character differentials. I mean, maybe they have something planned, but it was cool. And for the final, one of the old games I played, Around the World in 80 Days, that game is amazing. Everybody should play that if you can find it.
Which one?
Around the World in 80 Days, the one from Michael Ranick.
Mm-hmm.
Came out a long time ago. Like 2000, I think.
Nobody has time to play old games.
We should though, right? We should, because
Ain't got time.
there's still
for
good.
that.
There's still great old games that
Should
Maybe.
the use of the
Talk
word
about-
old should not apply.
That
So
takes you away from Tapestry and Black Angel
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
and Later Jam.
Yeah.
God, what would keep me from Letter Jam? 2004 is when that game came out. Yeah, no, it's a good one though. Like it's still good, right? Like it was still fun.
Do you like Letter Jam that much?
No, they're just fucking at me.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah, it's
I-
fine. I thought
didn't think it was great.
Lance has just got me on this word game thing.
Well, you are a word
Love
game.
word games.
Thank you, Keith.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No.
You've taught me like 5 word games.
I
just
hate
yourself.
Boggle.
Well, it's Boggle. Come on.
I hate Scrabble.
It's,
Well, it doesn't. It just whatever. If somebody said, "Will you please Scrabble?" You'd be like, "Okay."
I would force
Sure,
Is there
why
a
not?
modern designer word game that you do not like, Aldi? I mean, what do you got? You got Word Dominion or Word Domination, I think. You've
I don't
got
know.
paperback and hardback. You've
I've never
got-
played those.
Oh, those
Oh,
are
really?
good.
No,
You should try them. You'll like them. They're very good.
no. I think I remember that was like one of your early videos. Yeah, I think you did a word jam, or not a letter jam, a paperback playthrough.
Yep. Yeah, paperback is the game.
Let me look at
I
word
think I
games
can
from this
enjoy
year,
word games.
last year. I don't know. You guys are overstating it.
Maybe a little.
Maybe.
I don't like bananagrams.
So we could just say you don't like mass market word games and be done with it.
Maybe.
Because
Well-
that's basically everything you've named you don't like.
I love Decrypto. That game is like one of the best ever made.
You like Decrypto. You like,
Yeah.
I mean, would you call Codenames a word
Yeah,
game?
that's a
I
word
mean,
game. Yeah.
And
I like
Just
that.
One's good. And
Just one. We played a
Word
ton of
Slam.
that. I like Medium. That's a word game.
Yeah.
We played a lot of Medium. Played a lot of Medium. We played a lot of Just One.
Yeah, that's my story from last week. So last Friday, going into the holiday weekend, the company president sent out an email of, "Oh, these are our third or first quarter goals, blah blah blah." And at the very end of the email, there was a line, and I missed it because I stopped reading after 2 sentences in the email of, "Oh, we're going to dismiss early today, and everybody can leave at basically 2 hours early." Then people were asking, "So we only have to work 6-hour days today?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Well, the CEO sent an email. I'm like, "Oh, okay." Anyway, I had scheduled a meeting with my group to go sit and play Just One because I introduced them to that and they like doing that. And I gave them a choice at 2 p.m. in the day. I said, "You can either sit here and play this game with me or you guys can just go home for the weekend." And they all stayed to play Just One. That was my proud dad moment. I knew I'd fully corrupted him at that point. Because normally if somebody said, "Do you want to do something with your boss or do you want to go home?" my ass would have been out the door.
Yeah. Did they collaborate first before making a decision?
No,
You know what I mean?
no,
Like,
just
it's not
nobody
saying-
left. They all just
No,
sat
they just
there.
were like, okay.
And one
Oh, they
guy came
all
to the
like-
meeting in a bad mood because he thought I scheduled like KPI blah 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 and key performance indicators, all this stupid crap as the subject so that the boss wouldn't necessarily know what I was up to. And wouldn't show up, he'd think we were actually working. And one of the guys shows up, he's like, "Oh, I'm not looking forward to this meeting." I'm like, "Well, we're just playing Just One." He's like, "Oh, okay, cool." He was all crabby for having a Friday afternoon meeting until he found out we were just playing the game. But that was the day we used Word Slam cards as an expansion for Just One.
There you go.
So Western empires like going to be this giant game or whatever that's going to be at Essen, right?
Western.
But Western
Oh, yeah.
Empires is the
expansion. Yeah.
Well, but it isn't though, because like I'm just so Western Empires from 999 Games, whatever. Western Empires is a board game bigger than life. Players take a deep dive through history and develop an ancient civilizations that flourished around the Mediterranean Sea. Again, Western Empires can play with 5 to 9 players and can last up to 13 hours. Together with the future release of Eastern Empires, it can be combined to create Mega Empires, a colossal gaming experience for up to 18 players. So it sounds like the Mega Civ is still
Mega Civ 2. Who's
maybe
who's the designers?
John.
Well,
it's 999 Games. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to pre-order this or not. Gosh darn it! I hate having to think.
I want Civilization, the original game, in 2 hours.
You know what I want to hear. I would like these are grievances that are like maybe completely out of left field. But if I could change 2 things in the board game world.
Board Game Geek logo.
Yeah, well, the Board Game Geek logo. Yeah. These are the 2 things that I would change.
If you were king?
If I were king and if you didn't do what I said, I could line you up against the wall. Number 1 would be like if a game like this, like is this the same game? Do I need a different game? Is this basically going to be is Western Empires like is it the fact that it is this, that, and the other thing? Do I need this? Because there's this thing where it says, oh, well, you can go ahead and have like here's this upgrade, here's this card pack, here's this thing, just like all this kind of like weird like stuff, right? That's on there. Just have the presence of mind to explain what it is, right? Just like I want that to be like very, very like just be plain. I don't want to have to go searching for and then try to dig through, send an email, try to get an answer. I want to know, is this basically Mega Civ with just split in 2, or like I don't want to have to dig. So like here's one of the things where it says like Mega Civ buyers, would you have gotten this? Assuming this came out at the same time as Mega Civ, would you have gotten this instead? I assume it is less expensive, although perhaps half the price. If you prefer the Eastern map, plan to produce what? So it basically like it. From what I understand, this is kind of like but once again, it isn't straightforward. It's just nothing. Just telling me what it is. Like I just want somebody to tell me, don't bother. You don't need it because there's no reason to get it. Blah 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 blah. And
don't bother. You don't need it.
Shut up. You know what I mean?
Well, I said it for you.
I know.
Because in the end, do you need it? No matter what it is.
Hey, it's a thing. It's a thing, and no, I don't need it. That is a debate for. So these are the people: Flo DeHaan, Gerard DeHaan, John Rodriguez, and Francis Tresham are the designers.
The original designers of.
So they're the original designers, and they designed Mega Civilization for that matter as well. So, so maybe I need it, maybe I don't. I don't know. I'll probably don't need it. I know. I'm dumb. But I'll get it.
What's the price?
€100 just for the game.
Didn't I bring you the first Mega Civ?
Yeah, I paid you for it.
Isn't that the year where you kept? This is great. Lance, give me one. Lance, like, give me one game. By the end of the Essen, it was like,
yeah, yours is mule.
12 games. I had a mule.
But I do remember. Like I gave you the money. Yeah, and you said
basically said the last person.
Never again.
Never again. I swear to God, I spent so much time on that.
Well,
who all here has been a Lance mule at some point?
I love you for it. By the way, just whatever. Like StreamYard ain't free, Aldi. Just letting you know.
I'll write you a check.
All right, no, but seriously, the other thing, number 2, and I think everybody will agree with this. If you are going to go on Kickstarter and you are going to have a game that's going to have like, this little added expansion, this little added token, this little added miniature, this little added whatever. Just give me an all-in pledge that just says
the whale pledge.
Yeah,
you always
give
need
me-
a whale pledge.
give me $250 and you'll get everything.
I'm
You'll-
gonna
Hey,
add.
don't
I'm
make
gonna
me
add
do a goddamn pledge manager.
I'm gonna I'm gonna add a little caveat to your request and a fucking box to hold everything.
Yeah,
Jesus
That's
Christ,
I'm with you.
John.
I'm with you.
John.
John's streaming. Why are you like showing us on there? That's really weird. That's
cool.
cool. That was cool. We could like watch ourselves, watching ourselves. Oh my gosh,
Meta.
Oh,
it
Infinity.
is.
Awesome.
Oh no! Yeah, and all of a sudden it clicks
World
to a
Cup,
screen that we don't want to see of John's. But you
I
know.
have so many goddamn boxes that don't fit the game. I've got little pieces of things floating around everywhere. I have no idea what they go to.
You know, there's a website you could go to where you could post a picture of it and people would tell
No,
you.
believe me, we get a 1 minute response time sometimes on these things. The
What is
box.
that? Something ceremonial gift architecture. Look at this. Look at this. Look at it. This is game design at work,
Yes.
everyone.
It's true. I asked in the chats if they. I'm working on it anyway.
Hey,
So
are you
I,
looking those ceremonial gift horses in the mouth?
Brr.
Oh.
Did
All right,
you
keep rolling, Lance. I want more of this. What else?
No, that is
Oh yeah,
just
no.
give
Well, here's
me
the thing.
a freaking all in.
If
I'm
I don't owe
with
you
you.
another dime of money, don't give me a fucking backer kit or a Kickstarter or you're a pledge manager or fucking like I got to go fill it all out again. I know you're getting the data from Kickstarter. Why are you asking for it to me again?
Yeah,
Because they want to hit you up they want to get you to buy something else.
Yeah.
yeah, that's why. I agree. But yeah, give me the whale pledge and no backer kit,
Or-
and I'm happy.
Give me just the backer kit at the beginning and don't fucking go through Kickstarter.
Do you know like here we go. RPGs. This is another thing that
You're on your own.
well, okay, I'm on my own. So like an RPG Kickstarter, and Chad can back me up on this. Like most of them don't go through the process of finding somebody that's actually going to make the book. What they'll do is they use drive-through RPG that allows them to basically they can send out a print-on-demand code that allows you to like buy an at cost copy of the book. Like here's the PDF and here's the print-on-demand code. So like, oh, I want this hardcover book, and it'll cost $4 for them to put this 64-page book into this hardcover book, and then I'll pay $3.50 in media mail to have it delivered to my house, and then you get it ordered. So there's one after the other. But what happens is that I don't see that email from Drive-Thru Review because I get all kinds of stupid things like that. I won't see that, and then it's like a month or two later, and I'll email a guy, yeah, I never got my book, and they're like, oh, you sent the coupons for it forever ago. Oh, okay. I got to go back through all my freaking emails and like and dig around. If I had the presence of mind, honestly, if I had the presence of goddamn mind, when I made my Kickstarter account, I would have made like Undead Vikings Kickstarter account at gmail.com or something like that, just so I could have them all on that one. I would have to dig through my normal email to find my freaking Kickstarter emails. Because like what you guys are saying about like the Game Found and Backer Kit and Pledge Manager and CrowdOx and just all those things where you got to find all that thing and like, oh, well, you didn't, it's like right now, like, and admittedly, it's my fault. Like I missed the Tainted Grail like email, and I missed the cutoff.
Here's
So
another one.
I have to
If
wait.
I don't fill out the backer kit and you don't send me a game, refund the fucking money automatically, right? You know who didn't get it. You don't know who didn't fill out the backer kit. Push refund. Send me back the money.
Or send them a goddamn email and say you didn't fill out your backer kit.
Well, here's the deal, and admittedly, I totally. This is my fault, right? I missed. But I mean, I get, like I said, my Undead Viking videos email. I get 50 to 100 emails on there a day, and more on some other days. Just garbage, and like literally, when I'm gone for 3 days, I don't look at my email.
Like it's going to take me like it'll take me 4 hours of no other interruptions to go through each and every email and just to make sure I responded to everything I need to do. And I don't look for but I don't get 4 hours interrupted. That doesn't exist in my life. But regardless, it's like, so I missed that Tainted Grail thing, right?
Well, that sucks.
Well, whatever, but I still have my $180 credit. And I sent them a message. I said, hey, it's my fault. I didn't see the email. I get lots of emails. I didn't see it. Can you just let me get my game? You have my money. It's a credit. It's sitting there. Just let me get my game. They're like, nope. And I was like, okay, so can you refund me? We'll reopen it again in November and you can get your game. I'll get it like in March of next year.
I think that's where at the point when they do that, I'd say, I'm just going to have to copy your email and send it to Kickstarter.
Well, I'm going to send it to my credit card company and get my money back.
Yeah. But it's always too late.
And here's the deal. If you back charge them, they get $25 fee.
Well, like they care. I just, it was one of those things where it's like, it's my fault, right? I even said that in the email. It's like, look, it's my fault. I missed the email. I mean, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I'm just kind of like.
So I have a legitimate question on this now. This whole backer kit and things like this. Do you think there's a little bit of the gift card effect that goes on where they just count on the fact that they're just going to make extra money because since they go through this extra crap that you may not bother filling it out and not get it?
Oh, it definitely happens.
Oh yeah, just like the people that sell gift cards.
They'll sell.
That's what I'm talking about. The gift card effect. People love to sell gift cards in stores because what percentage of gift cards are never redeemed?
When I worked for US Bank, one of the things when we actually started getting our US Bank Visa gift cards and branches were selling that was something that we counted on. Something between like it was like 3 to 7% of all gift cards that are purchased are never used because they get thrown in a drawer somewhere, they get set aside, and they just never get used. It's free money, and they count on that. They count on that money.
Yeah,
what that ratio.
And it's like and it's also like the gym membership thing. Gym memberships. I've read about this. The gym memberships count on the fact that like there is no way in hell that the number of people that they sell gym memberships to, they purposely have about half of the equipment needed for the people that are actually members. If if everybody that had a gym membership showed up at the same time, they have people lined up around the gym 5-6 times in a row, or even if it was just people who had bought the gym membership, gone twice, and then just said, just like, and running's hard.
Actually, very specifically altogether, Planet Fitness's model. They build Planet Fitness's. Is that the one? The one that's like $10 a month, and it's always. Is that the
You're
one?
asking us?
The purple and yellow one. It's funny. Anyway, so it's $10 a month. They build them in low-income areas for people who are like, oh, I can do $10 a month, but then like never actually show up.
Yeah,
it's messed up.
Yeah. So I don't know. What do I know?
All right, keep it going, Lance. Got anything else? How about? I got one. It sort of makes me. I understand it, but I still don't like it. Getting the game, backing the game, and not getting it after a convention. Not getting it until after a convention where a whole bunch of people who didn't have anything to do with the game get to buy it. They didn't have any faith, and they just
hold on. I apologize. My wife, who still works for US Bank and knows like way more about this stuff than I do.
She watching you?
She's listening to me because when I get in one of these roles, like she can hear me. She says if people register their cards, states have unclaimed property laws. You don't just get to keep it. The states actually use that money to fluff up their budgets now. So apparently,
go to the state.
Yeah.
But who registers their gift cards?
Nobody.
I never even thought that was a possibility.
Yeah.
And I understand why publishers need to do it, right? You have a window of opportunity to sell things, to make money, to pay off bills. I get it, but it's really frustrating as a backer.
So what were you starting to say before Lance got his update
Oh, but
on the
basically,
credit card?
Kickstarter fulfillment that comes after the conventions, where the convention you get to go buy it at the convention.
Okay, I've got two schools of thought.
The Cloudspire was Cloudspire available at Gen Con to buy?
Yeah, it's available.
No, I don't think anybody's got their Cloudspires yet.
So, or pre-orders that don't even show up until after the damn thing's been in retail for 4 weeks.
Oh, I know that's an outlier, I think. But
Yeah, but so I used to be, oh, that's a bunch of crap, and then I was like, I don't care, and now I look at it even differently, and I'm not fair in this assessment. But if you're a big company that has plenty of cash flow because you've sold a bunch of games, I think it's somewhat inappropriate. But then again, you can't pass on convention season, so I get it. But if you're a big company that has all that cash flow, you don't need to use Kickstarter anymore.
Or Kickstarter is a marketing device. I mean, you don't even have. You can kickstart something that's already been produced. You don't even need
Correct. I mean, it's a marketing pre-order, no matter what Kickstarter says.
Yeah.
So yeah, it always stings you a little bit.
At Gen Con this year?
No.
What now?
Oh,
What booth?
so they don't even go to the conventions anymore. They used to.
Yeah.
So annoying.
It is a sting to the consumer, but I think we're just so used to it now. We know CMON's going to do it. We know that Chip Theory is going to do it because they've done it every year. We know that TMG is going to do it.
Keep him coming.
But I mean, who have you seen that really hasn't done it? I mean, there's a couple companies out there that hold firm. They're like, or they'll ask, right? They'll send out things, say, hey, do you mind as the backers? Right. And the 5 people that answer will say yes. Usually they'll say it's fine.
Yeah. Right. Here's the deal. You don't want to be the asshole online.
Right.
Like, no, send me my fucking game. Right. You don't want to be that guy.
Wow.
I guarantee those people exist.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure there's people that just have the tirade from hell, but most people are reasonable.
Sure.
And
that's why they do it. It's an absolvement of the
and usually it's an inferior version that's being sold at the conventions. Cloudspire,
right? It might not have all this. Right, I get that.
Right, it may not have all the bells and whistles. What sucks though is when you I'll use Seafall as the example, right? So Seafall, big, exciting, everybody's hyped. I pre-ordered that sucker from Plaid Hat. By the time I got it, the cat was out of the bag that the game was shitty, and now I still had the game coming.
Well, hopefully people like Tapestry because they just sold 25,000 of them.
Yeah,
I think they will. I think people will.
Well, the difference between Seafall and Tapestry is before I pre-ordered it, I had already watched a video to know how the damn game was played, so I knew that it would work for me.
No, I mean, I think that's more important these days. Like, you need a Rado, you need an Undead Viking, you need a Rodney.
I really just need. No, I'm not even gonna say it because it sounds like I'm kissing his ass. But all I need to make a decision if I want to buy a game is a Rado at this point.
Oh, thanks, chum.
Well, I mean, I watched 2 others besides you, and that's it, man. And I watched Rodney to see rules, but.
It was nice having Keith on when we used to do it.
Oh, so
right.
I actually really enjoyed having Keith as part of the guests over the last few years, but
all good things must come to an end.
It's unfortunate that his internet no longer works.
Bring him back.
I was just gonna close it and go to bed.
I know. That would have been awesome if he just left.
So hey, Kabuki Kid said that. So yeah, so the guy who did Unbroken, which was a fantastic solo game, if that's your jam.
Yes, it was.
Between the
story there, the guy's undercharged for shipping.
Well, I think shipping rates changed on him in the amount of time it took to came out. So the game, so people who got the game, he asked everybody if they would be willing. And he's like, he just basically included a sheet of paper that said, I would really appreciate, if possible, if you could PayPal me $10. Basically to.
Don't worry, I paid for everybody on the Swords and Sales delivery because the same company did it, and they charged me like $50 shipping.
What?
Yeah. Swords and Sales.
What about it?
They did the same company that did the fulfillment for Unbroken did it for Swords and Sales, and I didn't pay $50, but I paid pretty high shipping value of what I've never seen before, a cost.
Like
So
what?
I'm sure
It showed up at your door like you needed to pay?
No. The pledge manager that they did for Sword and Sales.
Oh, wow!
I can tell you exactly what the shipping was, and I got the game the other day. It was not. It did not need to be. I actually should look at the price on the box if it was printed, but they overcharged by.
If you can see who their fulfilling person was, put it in the private chat for me. Unless you want to name and shame.
I know who it is. I'm not going to name and shame. I'll put it for you.
Okay.
Let me find the back kit.
Well, yeah, and so and he just asked everybody if if you're willing, PayPal him $10, and that's what he just asked. So,
but I went through the other situation, and Scott did as well, where they held us hostage until we paid shipping to get it sent to us on top of our shipping. And then they just disappeared and didn't deliver most people's after that. Scott got actually the last one the dude ever sent out.
I know. I wrote the guy and offered to take over the Kickstarter if he would just give me the contact of who makes the dice. Because he doesn't make them; makes them in Japan.
Right.
What is this? Which game?
It was called Cyclo Dice.
Cyclo Dice.
A set of dice.
Saiqlo. Saiqlo.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I wrote to him and paid him the extra $15 or something.
They are little cloth cubes encased in acrylic.
They're really.
What was remember that one that guy was like hand making all the dice or something like that, and then it never happened.
Yeah. No, I still never got my pledge, and I pledged high on that one.
What was the name of that one? I would love to just go there and see if there's still somebody rolling around in there.
I mean, I can tell you.
All the handmade Kickstarters, their not fulfill rate is so huge compared to like the standard method.
You know who's got a 100% fulfillment rate? I forget what the guy's name is, but he. Have you ever watched those videos? And I can watch them all day long. They're just mesmerizing. Or people, they take the giant block of wood and then they slowly chip it down into like a bowl or a vase or something like that. They have it in the lathe going, and it's just fun watching. I can just watch. There's a guy who makes he's some weirdo in Montana or something, but he's just got acres and acres of land, and he just goes out there and he looks for like trees that have fallen, and then like he thinks if they'd be like cool looking or something like that, he goes out there and he and then he'll like take chunks and he makes bowls and but yeah, he hand makes all these bowls and sends them out to people. I've backed a few of them. They're just really cool. One of my favorite. I see the dice, Keith. Don't make me get rid of you again.
Did you get Cyclo Dice, Keith?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That was what I was talking about, being held hostage.
Here's the dice Kickstarter, and I'll tell you. Here's the name of the. That's the company. That's the fulfillment.
Yeah. No, let's see. I'm just gonna Artisan Dice. Last comment was almost 3 years ago.
Oh, this guy's in the dice. So
he's local to me. He's come to be
they're trying. They're authentically still trying. I don't know all the details, but in like the dice community, everybody like hated them for like 2 years, and now everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, I've got my dice for my Kickstarter," and I think they're legitimately trying to get them all out slowly but surely. Don't quote me on that.
Well, there was one that was like, here's one of the back $1,983. If you want to see Artisan Dice produce quality hand-finished polyhedral dice, then you can help us develop the product much quicker than I could go on my own. In addition to gaining input on the development side, each backer will receive 7 sets of dice for $1,983. Each dice box will be engraved with a message of the backer's choosing, in addition to the Artisan Dice logo and the set's prototype number. These prototype sets will be the only polyhedral dice produced at this time. But you got 2 people to give them.
It was not Sword and Sails. It was something else. God damn it! What was it?
Okay, well, you
dice-
think about that. Bye-bye.
What?
Oh, sorry. I got to go. It's Thursday night. This is not the night, so Jen's done with her glass. So I just want to say bye.
See you, man.
Oh, see you,
Yeah.
Richard. Thanks for
Have a
coming
good
in.
Yep. Nice seeing everybody.
Now we can add John Roth's. Oh no.
Now Richard's gone. No reason for me to be here. See you later.
Oh,
What a jerk.
fair enough.
There's my
Well,
revenge.
I noticed that nobody has commented forever. Well, this guy says he finally made the last of the dice in September 26,
Oh, check
2013.
his other project. Check another project. More recent, maybe.
Okay,
It's still pretty bad.
Oh, Artisan Dice does handcrafted polyhedrals.
That's the one.
5,804 comments. I'm guessing this is the one.
How much raised actually?
200 some K.
Yeah. I mean, he just got in over his head, right? When one person is making dice, like
Fred Liner, 6 years and $800 gone. I guess it's a
wow, it's
Texas
been that
thing.
long. I ordered one of the special boxes too. I never got, which is that was more disappointing than not getting the dice because he was selling custom boxes.
The most recent one said, so I took some advice a few months back and I asked Charlie for store credit, which I was granted. I originally ordered metal dice, but settled for 2 sets of very nice wood dice. Not what I pledged for, but under the circumstance, I'll take it. Just glad to close the book on my involvement with this 6 years after I pledged. So yes,
Oh, okay.
AD did try to make amends with me, and I respect that. I also respect what I learned from Kickstarter from this experience. Be careful, and yes, it is not a store. Well, there you go. You can get store credit. Jason Kotler from 4 months ago said, "Give me my money back."
I just want that box, which I don't think I can get. That's the problem. The box is super cool because he had one at BGG Con, and I'm like, how do I get one of these boxes? He goes,
Hey,
Kickstarter.
at least your new logo's on this page. On the corner of the YouTube video, it's still on there.
Oh god. Oh yeah, we filmed that at BGG Con.
2012.
2012. Wow. I bought a set of Boda Rose. It's called, I think, is the wood Boda Rose, Bodhi Rose, something like that. It's illegal to grow it, or it's illegal to cut it down in America. So it's imported.
So here's I haven't Googled up Lazy Gamer in a while. Let's see what I haven't seen what the last comment on here was. Let's see. 4 hours ago.
What?
Yeah. Paul Gemini. Oh my God. Apparently they have a business. Perhaps we can get some closure this way. Jordan and Vita are both involved here. We can also utilize the real mail. Addresses are included. Somebody's doxing them. P.S. They also they had a meeting a few short months ago. They must be trying to swindle more people. They just listing off a bunch of like people that like ways to contact them if they want to.
That's too bad.
That is too bad.
I really feel like that's still a solid idea to make those things.
So I thought about it when that came out, and all I can think is somebody's going to bump it and send all of my shit spinning and ruin my game.
Yeah.
Jeff has a Lazy Susan just as a thing on his table, and we used it when last time I played. We used it like the whole night.
I have one that I crack out for certain games.
Oh, you know what game I just got? Skull Hollow, and I played with Michelle. It's really fun.
That is good.
It's an asymmetric war game. One guy plays a giant monster, and the other team plays like a bunch of foxes with like 1 health, sort of like the old like ogre kind of thing.
Yep.
Sure, certainly inspired by ogre. Fantasy though,
Yeah, true enough.
it's neat.
The Diceboard Hero guy says that he's gonna start slowly shipping out the games,
Oh,
which tells me that basically he's
You're
well,
never
he
seeing him again.
he lists off times that if you're in Canada, you can go up and you're more than welcome in Canada to travel up to his times of meeting, and he'll cross your name off his backer list, and he'll hand you the game if you're.
Is it on the? Is it in the Yukon territory? Like, or what?
Yeah.
Thanks, but no thanks. I just, god damn it, that's so annoying because I accidentally bought extra copies of that game.
Well, I think you'll eventually get them.
Yeah, sure. Damn it, I cannot find that stupid game.
No, that's too bad.
I gotta tell you what the shipping cost was, and you tell me if it's bullshit. Damn it, what was that game? It was some war game, sort of Euro. We did a video at Cannes. I can find it from our YouTube channel. In fact,
I don't know.
I backed the game based on the video that I was watched while we were at Cannes. So someone brought Glorantha on the cruise. One of the guys, Aaron, and he played it, and it's spectacularly amazing on the table. Have you played yours yet, Lance?
Which one?
A Glorantha.
I found a spot to put all the boxes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. No. It was. Yeah. It's. I mean, from what I understand, it's a really fun game. God, who has time to play games anymore? Unless you're like trapped on a boat, in the middle of nowhere.
You need to make it your job, and then you'll get to play tons of games.
Well, yeah, that'd be nice. But
Napoleon,
right now,
I found it. Napoleon 1806.
what's that?
That's the game that I backed, and the shipping fee was astounding. Let me get it.
Really?
I want to talk with real facts in front of me.
But you won't name and shame. I can appreciate that.
The guy is litigious. I don't want to draw him in.
He'd be willing to sue people.
I believe he's threatened it.
Well, I mean, there's that, I guess. I think somebody said it in the chat anyway. So like, I don't know. Yeah. But I sure hope. Yeah. I heard, that we'll let that person get sued because I neither confirm nor deny anything they have to say. But
Here, okay, $220 game, $58.25 shipping.
How heavy was it?
I don't know. I've never paid $58.25 for shipping.
How much was the shipping?
$58.25.
From where?
I don't know. Wherever.
Let's see where.
Bring to you from Canada. I mean,
I'm trying to see where they're located.
Well, let's look at the comments.
I mean, but there's still cheaper ways to do that too.
Well, their store, their store of this location that we're not going to mention, offers free shipping on qualifying orders.
That's all right. It just feels like a little bit of a jab back. You know what I mean?
Looks like this store is based out of New York.
Oh yeah, there you go. Go read those comments.
On Napoleon 1806.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? If I just repeat them,
Yeah.
That's not Napoleon 1806. Napoleon. Is this just a big war game or what is it?
Yeah.
Well, there's very few comments here.
Oh, well, whatever.
Receive my copy. Something. Nobody seems to be complaining.
Kentucky to Virginia, someone got charged $35. So it's in Kentucky. So Kentucky to Texas costs $50-something, $60.
Kentucky to Texas? No, you
Yeah, if it's in the games are in
can board
Kentucky.
game table at that
I know.
price. No, that's there's nothing a ship enough. There's nothing that costs that much.
Isn't Eagle Games in Kentucky?
Yeah, here's another guy. $60 shipping to the U.S. for 2 games with playmats. I have to agree. It does seem excessive. I have bigger and heavier games shipped to me for less.
$60 shipping.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Well, I can guarantee that Fun Again can beat those prices.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, somebody got charged $45 to ship the game 20 miles. I would have just went and got it for the gas money instead.
I know, exactly. Like,
Point.
Hysterical.
and
Here's
take
a
out
$5.
Yeah.
Here's a $5.
Anyway. Yeah, it's frustrating.
What do you do? I mean,
What do you do exactly? I guess nothing. Okay. Or not.
I mean-
Here's the thing, you don't ship it. You don't get your games. You don't get your money back. Or you could back charge them. Kick a charge back on them.
the
Charge
what
back the hidden evil of online commerce.
what was the line from Departed? No ticky, no laundry.
What is
So-
that? Departed?
Departed when they go to they're trying to buy like the microchips, the cruise missile microchips or whatever that the Chinese government guy had stolen or whatever, and then they meet with the guys that have it, and Jack Nicholson tries to taunt the triads by being racially insensitive, and he's like no ticky, no laundry, trying to pretend he's like a Chinese dry cleaner.
Right.
Dun dun dun.
I need to watch that movie again. I saw it one time and a long time ago. I liked
It's a good little flick.
Did you hear about the latest Scorsese movie?
No, what is it?
So long, apparently. It's like many, many hours. Let me find the article. The Irishman. You get the running time on this thing.
Well, I saw it. Like
I
it
know.
stars De Niro, right?
3 hours and 30 minutes. It's a long one.
That's unnecessary.
Pushing 4 hours. Yeah, I mean it's Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Harvey Keitel. You're gonna watch that movie. Come on.
They got Harvey Keitel back.
Oh, was he not on it before?
Well, no. He said he
Oh,
said
did he
retired.
not?
Like him and Joe Pesci both said that they were retiring from
Yeah,
it.
except when Scorsese calls you.
Yeah, that's true.
Hmm.
I mean, this is
I
a
guess
total opposite direction, especially cats and energy levels concerned. But I got a 4.5-year-old, so we watched Mr. Rogers on Amazon Prime. If you watch like 2 or 3 episodes of Mr. Rogers and you consider how much material that man covers in 24 minutes,
Right.
you don't need 3.5 hours for anything.
You don't need 3.5 hours. I'll take a 3.5 hour Scorsese film though, because there's so few and far
I'm not
between.
gonna suck, don't get me wrong, but I mean,
What's the last movie he did? Was it The Departed? I need to find his director credits. God, I need to make an IMDb.
You need to make an IMDb. Why?
Well, just like I just hate the way IMDb works.
I don't like that website at all. I remember I used to go to IMDb but I prefer going to Wikipedia for my movie information.
It's a much better.
But I want a database. I want to rank the movies, and I want to like put them in my collection. And I don't know. Maybe I should just do it.
Yeah, because you have all this
I have
free
so much
time.
so much spare time. Yeah, believe me, I want the day where I have spare time to do crap like that again. It'd be awesome.
I want you to grow a giant beard. That's what I want you to do.
Why?
I don't know, just because I think it'd look cool.
I would get divorced.
Your wife doesn't like it?
Yeah, no facial hair.
Weird.
Her skin is very, very soft, like a rose petal. Doesn't work with scratchy beard hair.
Well, you're listening to the boss. I can't argue with that.
The comptroller says I can't do it.
On the other side, Lance's wife has never seen his chin. So
well, that's true. Though
you were never shorn.
I haven't. The last time. So like here, I'll actually like. So when I used to just have a goatee, like I would grow a big goatee like this, and then I had two big mutton chop sideburns, and I would just so basically I would shave here, like just like, and then I'd go down, but I'd have the big giant goatee, and then and that's how my wife knew me. Like I was just known as the biker at the bank, like I was just like, and that was just because when I got hired, weird story. So like before I even knew my wife, well, I mean, and admittedly when I started working at U.S. Bank, God, how old was I? Give me a second here. I would have been.
Oh, what? So I didn't get to tell about the tool. I didn't get to do the tool thing. But I want to do the tool thing after you finish.
Okay, I'll tell you the thing. So, like, I was 27 when I started working at U.S. Bank, 27 or 28, which would mean that my wife was like 12 or 13. So, I did not know who she was, and because it'd probably be criminal if I did. But I was dating a girl at that time, and I actually had dreads, but I had these long dreads.
Dude, please screen share a shot of you with dreads right now.
Find pictures here, please.
I can't. I don't even know.
It's free social media, right? So there's nothing. There's no.
No, there. I mean, there's probably some Polaroids somewhere. But I had long hair, but I had dreads, and I just had this big giant goatee. And that's just. And then I actually like, and then I actually didn't. I had like little tiny sideburns, like. But I mean, but I had a big long goatee, and sometimes I braided that, and I just had these dreads, and then like, but I was like. But I was working like 7 or 8 jobs, and it was just like some of them were just for cash. It was just like I was pretty sketchy back then. And but then like a couple of my friends got jobs at the bank, and they're like, "This place is really good, man." I mean, it's like you could probably replace like most of your jobs and work here. And so I had an in, and I was just like, well, and then they're like. But there's no way they're gonna hire you looking the way you do. And I was just like, and so like, but I didn't want to cut my hair, and I was just like, and so I let my hair grow out for a little while, but I didn't rat up my dreads, and so then the girl you basically take a comb, and you just go like that, and then like, and you see it just gets all clumped together, yeah. So then and everybody I know that had dreads, they basically had to shave their head, and I did not want to do that. I love my hair, man. I mean, it was like kind of like everybody knew me for like the way I looked. That was just like when I walked into bars, like people just knew who I was. Yeah, what?
He was like Norm.
Really?
Yeah. No. So I was dumb, and that was important to me, right? So, but then what happened was I went in and I went over to her apartment, and and I had let my hair grow out a little bit. And so it was like 3 or 4 inches long that wasn't all ratted out. And so then she cut all my hair. So it was like shoulder length. And then she spent like basically like 2 or 3 bottles of conditioner and de-ratter. And like she had a comb, and she spent like most of that night just combing out my dreads, and I still lost a ton of hair, but I still had long hair afterwards. And like we just like hot water, and just she was a hairdresser, so it was like
but yeah, and then so then I had my hair combed and I was able to pull it back and do like a little ponytail back here, and I didn't go clean shaven, but I just had a normal looking goatee, and I went in and I applied for the job, and turns out the guy that interviewed me actually ended up playing on my softball team for like 5 years, and he said, oh, I would have hired you regardless. He's like, you aced the interview, I wouldn't have cared what you looked like. And I was like, dang it, and then I was like annoyed, and but I remember I let my hair grow out again, and just let my hair grow, but I didn't rat out my hair anymore. And it's weird when you have dreads, because you can everybody's like, oh, they're dirty. It's like you can easily use up a lot of shampoo, but what it is like a sponge. You get the shampoo and then you just kind of squeeze it, and you can still clean your hair. But but
it's up a funk, right? The oil and stuff, and
yeah, but anyway, the last time I saw my chin, I had my dreads and I had the thing. But what I did was I grew a full beard. I never grew a full beard because Metallica was coming to town, and then I shaved this, so I had the Lemmy, or I had the Hetfield, basically the lead singer of Metallica. So I went there and I had the facial hair. That's because and then I let it grow back out, and that's like over 20 years ago.
Such a goal. Like, I want to look like James Hetfield.
Yeah,
I want to look like Lemmy.
I went in there and I ruled the pit for I went in, I rented the mosh pit and just for like that was a weird.
You just
so it was in the middle of winter, right? But it was like 30 degrees, and there was like, instead of parking at the stadium, or not the stadium, like basically there's a place called the Fargo Dome, and so instead of actually like we knew of somebody who had a house that was like about a mile away, and so we were like, oh well, we'll go there and we'll just park our cars at this house. We don't have to pay the money for the thing because we're all dirt poor, but it's this guy that we know that lived there, and then I was like, oh man, I don't want to have to bring my jacket with me. And I was like, it's like 30 degrees out. It's like, 6 o'clock. And it was like, it's 30 degrees. No big deal. And they're like, well, it's going to be colder tonight. I was like, it's supposed to be like 10 degrees, 5 degrees. It'd be no big deal. It's just a mile. I'll just walk it.
Walk a mile in 10 degrees.
Yeah. So I had my long sleeve.
It's from Minnesota. 10 degrees feels warm.
Yeah, it does.
It's like swimming weather.
It's like, there's degrees. It's not that bad out today.
I still remember I had somewhere in a box.
Did you get a beer blanket going?
Hold on. So I had
the story.
I had my crash course in brain surgery, Metallica long sleeve shirt on, and I just had a pair of like baggy gym shorts on, and because and I brought so I had a few $20 bills crumpled up so I could buy like beer when I got there, and my ticket. That's what I had. Back before e-tickets, I had my physical ticket, and so we walked there, and it was fine. And we just walked there, and we got there, and we went in, and like in the pit. And I wasn't somebody who punched. I just shoved and I pushed people around. And if somebody fell, I picked them up. And I was.
Yeah, you were a good guy mosh pit.
I was good guy mosh pit.
Good guy.
Well, there were a few times. I was at a White Zombie concert where there was a guy that was out there just swinging nuts, and like I kind of backed up into that guy, and I remember I just elbowed back as hard as I could, and I hit something pretty good, and then I hit something pretty good, and that guy vanished, and he wasn't in the pit anymore.
Oh my God.
I had no idea what I had done. But apparently,
you gave him a bleeding stomach.
No. Well,
shit blood later.
I must have connected. I must have connected with his nose, because when I got out of the concert, like the girl that I was dating at that time, she came and picked me up, and I had blood all over the back of my shirt.
Oh, you totally busted his nose then, right?
Up and down, so I must have done something pretty bad there. But anyway, I feel bad about that now. I mean, who knows what I did to that guy? But No, so
He's watching right now, and he's like, "It was you."
Like, oh, God, it was you. I'm coming to find you, man.
no, so
Zombie
okay.
concert, 1992.
You got to remember this is way younger me, so
Yeah.
I was kind of a
You expect him to forgive you just because you've aged?
I was kind of I was a bit of a giant a-hole back then. No, so I like so I let my beard grow back, and like I just haven't seen. I would sometimes trim my beard down, but I remember I started when I started dating Rebecca. I remember there was one day we were just at my apartment, and I was looking, and that was back when I had really long hair, like hair down to my, and a lot more of it too. Like it's receding now, obviously. It happens to the best of us. But my hair was down to my waist, and it was, but I actually like I shaved my hair under so I would have no hair, but I have big mutton chop sideburns, and I just had this big giant top knot that I'd tie my hair into, and I had the big goatee. And I remember I was like sitting there and I was staring at myself in the mirror, and I was just sitting there, I was brushing my teeth, and I just said, I think I'm gonna just I was like I told Rebecca, I said, I think I'm just gonna grow a full beard because I was just tired of shaving. I said, I think I'm just gonna grow a full beard again, and because I'd never done it, I was like, I'm gonna finally just grow a full beard and let my beard just grow full, and I think I'm just gonna let my hair grow too. I'm not gonna. And then I said, once my hair, like the stuff underneath, like I said, once it gets down to my shoulders, I'm gonna cut it all to that length. And she was like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And that's what I did. And then after that, now the last time I went and got my hair cut was the day I got married. I went and got like my hair, I had like 4 inches cut off and trimmed. And then I actually, I had like maybe a 2-inch goatee on the day that I was married. But other than that, yeah, I don't know. I need to trim my beard because it's getting kind of long.
These pictures right now.
What if you trimmed it and dyed it?
I would love to see your jawline.
No,
what Lance looked like.
There's probably like 7 chins underneath there. For all I know. What?
How long have you been married?
I've been married. Well, we've been together 12. October will be 9 years.
Yeah,
but we've been together for 12.
I want to see those photos.
Yeah, we got to dig those up.
Oh, I can find my wedding photo. That's easy. Hold on, I'll show you.
I've seen your wedding photo. You had your hair very like slicked back, kind of tied in a ponytail. Because your brother, right? I've seen the picture with you and your brother.
Hold on, I'll find it. Give me a second. Just talk amongst yourselves. What was your story? You want to say something about Tool?
Oh, you were talking about how it's been how many years since the last Tool album?
Oh yeah, it's been like literally like I hadn't started dating my wife yet when the last Tool album came out, and Fear Inoculum is, I mean, admittedly,
it's good.
I mean, it is amazing, and Tool probably could have gone and thrown up into a microphone, and I would still thought it was amazing at this point. But it really,
I got it last week. It was great.
Really is good. I mean,
I'm a weird Tool fan. Like I actually seen him in concert.
I saw him at one Lollapalooza, and I was pretty drunk, so I don't remember much.
Tool fans are, in my experience, pretty committed.
What year was it? 05?
05 for 10,000 days.
So I was working at 3D Realms, and I went and saw Tool that year, if I recall, and quit at the end of the year to work on BGG full time. So after the Christmas party, I quit. And they gave my 2 weeks notice, and they're like, okay, cool. They're like, yeah, we could tell. And then and then like later that afternoon, they're like, you can go now.
Oh.
I'm like, okay. We're doing great. Believe me, the 2 weeks would have been real hard. Because I was I was checked out ages before that. So yeah, and then I woke up and I took a couple weeks off, started in January full time, woke up, went down to my office, and 14 years later, here I still am in the same office.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
look at you. You amazing
And that's when
human being.
BGG got redesigned.
Insert
That's how long it's been since
$1 million man
BGG has changed.
comment.
What's that, Tom?
Isn't this where Lance is supposed to introduce the $4 million man comment or whatever? The
87 or 93 or whatever it is. I haven't checked it out for a while. I
I'm
should
sure
probably
it's
go.
dropped down. I mean, come on, I changed the logo. That probably cut off 10 million right there.
Easy. That fucking logo.
Seriously, dude, I like the new logo.
Here's the deal.
I mean,
I went. People,
I heard your explanation of it. It's a good one. I like it.
But a lot of people, one of the criticisms was it has nothing to do with board games. And I looked at the old logo and I'm like, neither does that. We took all the board games away from the
board
logo.
games. It's a tower wearing a cape. Like there's some terrible logos in the gaming industry right now. Like, who cares? Hey, who's got a train going by? That's so cool.
Me. I live about a half a mile from train tracks.
So do I.
I got trains in my background sometimes, dude. They're right next door. The thing that sucks is they leave the train on overnight, so it spews out all its shit.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yep. Anyway, 2005 is the year I quit.
There you go. There's me getting married to my beautiful wife.
Yeah, your hair looks good there. You can see your chin. Ish. You can see your.
Where is it? Show me.
Jowl.
Oh, I see a little bit of jawline.
There's a jawline there.
Yeah, geez.
I love wedding photos. They just make me happy.
It's like a million miles from here.
Do you have the dreadlocks photos?
I'd have to go dig them out of a
You
shoebox
don't need
somewhere.
digital. Yeah.
I have no idea.
All my physical photos. There's companies that'll just take them all and digitize it for you.
God, I'm trying to remember. Well, I was.
You have the picture of your brother? That's a funny picture.
That's a funny picture
What
of
was he doing? What was he saying?
He was. Yeah, I don't know, but he was doing his best man speech, and he was making some joke. And it's my older brother. And my older brother is like one of the funniest human beings in the world. And but he was making some joke, and I think he was just cracking wise on me. And I was trying to, and you notice if you look, I have a white Russian. I'm drinking.
Oh,
yeah. And
the Caucasian.
Yeah.
Oh my God! So this place called the Bolski's opened up down the street from me. I gotta go. It's Big Lebowski team's bowling alley. It's awesome. I gotta go in. I've only looked through the window a few times. It's in this old, kind of antique theater. It's really cool. I gotta get there. Just opened.
Oh my gosh! I mean, this is just the dad and me, but there's my 3-year-old daughter as the flower girl.
Right.
Oh.
I just took her to. I mean, she's 12, going on 18 now.
Yep.
Oh.
You have her on phone yet?
Oh yeah.
What age do you have kids' phones now these days? What is the age?
Mine got hers when she turned 10.
Wow.
Because
what a world they're gonna grow up in.
Yeah.
Well, okay, and if my wife swears that this did not happen, but I'm just gonna say this. So, like, she was like, she needs to get a phone. I was like, she doesn't need a phone. I went without a phone. I was fine. No big deal.
Carry the roll quarters.
Yeah, you can live without a phone. It's no big deal.
Pay phone, Dad.
Yeah, and so she was just like saying like, yeah, but no. And she was like, no. She needs a phone. She needs a phone. I was just like, no, doesn't need one. And I was trying to tell her that, and then my wife dropped her phone. Like, she was just like, it hit the side of it, like she was in the bathroom, and she like set it down, and she bumped it, and it it's one of those things where it hit just absolutely perfectly
flat on the corner.
and it didn't crack it, but it basically the screen turned off, and we couldn't get it to come on, couldn't get it to turn on. It just nothing we could do to make it work. And so we went into the phone store or whatever to that day because she needed one, right? And we went in there, and they were like, oh, hey, by the way, right now if you get a new phone, it's you get one, get another one for nothing, you know. And so it was just like, oh,
BOGO.
it was a BOGO. So yeah, so it was just kind of like, oh well, I guess we're going to have to like just wait. Well, might as well just get her a phone then because it's time, you know. And like it was like
Smartphone?
3 weeks before her birthday.
Smartphone?
Yeah.
Is she on Facebook yet? Or what's the age
Oh
limit?
no, she's not allowed to do anything like that.
No social media.
And we definitely like take the time to like take her phone and look at it and make sure she's not smart enough to hide anything yet. So yeah, so like there's been a couple of times when she's
smart enough to hide what she hides by hiding it.
No, because I'll just say this without going into detail. If she would have hidden some things that I've discovered, and it's like, and anything that well then I'm really scared if that's the decoy. I'll just put it that way. But no, I will say this. I will say I have to be the grown up and just say 12-year-old girls and 12-year-olds in general are going to be curious, right? And it's no comparison to like when I was 12, right? As far as what they have access to and what they can look at, and because of the internet and things like that. So my wife and I handled the situation, in my opinion, very well, and just had a very, very frank and honest conversation about everything, and just saying, hey, no problem, and just if you ever have any questions, just make sure you ask your mom or I, and we'll be happy to talk about it in an adult way and be very honest with you. So
seatbelts coming Tuesday.
Shut up. By the way, you'll notice that the lock on your room has been put on the outside, and you'll be going in there. Yeah.
They call that child abuse now.
They call a lot of things child abuse. Our parents used to just go right ahead and walk into the grocery store and leave us in the car. Now you go to jail for it.
Is it child abuse to send your kid to go buy cigarettes for you? That's what I used to do.
Yeah, I guess now it would be.
I don't know if that's child abuse. Maybe it's just an inappropriate way of using it.
You know, it's child abuse. Common Core. So I don't want to hear it from any.
So no, I remember.
I just had a student yesterday in my advanced belt class. He's a red belt 3rd degree. He failed his first attempt at a brown belt, as they all do. And he comes up to me afterward and he says, "Sensei, I just want to let you know that this is my last session. I've been teaching this kid for 6 or 7 years." Out of nowhere, he drops. I say, "Why?" He says, "School and homework." It's so mind-blowing what they're doing to kids in public schools. It's just it's so depressing. It's so depressing.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this real quick. Just what's your brown belt test besides the patterns and whatever? What's your like the break?
You got to break a cinder block with your forehead, right? Like every brown belt. I'm kidding.
For brown belt, they have to do 75 push-ups. The first half have to be knuckles.
What?
And how long?
In under 8 minutes.
Holy shit.
For us, you have to do 30 normal push-ups. Then that's one. The sensei puts his fist, and your chin has to touch his fist in each one. You have to do 30 push-ups in 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, your nose has to touch the floor for every push-up in mine.
Wow.
They've got about a probably a 50 to 60 moves list where they're not allowed to miss any moves. They can get technical misses, but they can't forget a move. And technical misses have to be like 10 or less. Everything counts as a technical miss. So if the fist is like inches away from where it should be for a block, or their hand isn't in the right position or whatever.
Hogu drills, as they call them for us, but whatever.
They have to do Form 1 and Form 2, which are standardized through the company. Then they have to do Form 3 and Form 4, which they are both or create their own forms over the course of their growth to this point. They have to do whatever's new on the curriculum for the session for the Black Belt training program. This session was teaching. So when he did his Form 2, he had to lead the entire class through Form 2 sufficiently that the orange belts who have no idea what the heck's going on could follow him. And then we have 15 standardized escape maneuvers that he has to do correctly. Both the grab and the corresponding escape. He needs to know both. So, and I think that's it. That's my brown belt test.
Do you have any female brown belts?
Yeah, I have a female black belt.
Wow.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. She did
what's your ratio of
100 knuckle push-ups in 10 minutes or less. Wow. It, nose has to touch the floor every time, and your knees are not allowed to touch once.
That's super duper intense, man.
Yep. Yep. Standards the same for boys and girls.
Yeah. What's the ratio of like?
Girls rock the snot out of my martial arts classes for like the first year and a half of the program. Because girls just learn faster, so it's probably about 60% female.
Oh wow.
Once it hits like green belt and above, which is where they can get to the black belt training program. And here, let me take my screen share off. I just realized.
Anyway.
I know, it just feels rude. But so the black belt training program, once they hit the green belt, that's the I call it the center of the hourglass. So like the white belts are here, and then like green belts where it gets all thin, and everybody starts dropping because it starts getting like hard and terrifying because they have to create their own form and stuff. And then it kind of spreads back out a bit. Those who survive the green belt, going through brown, red, and
is that weed out?
Yeah, through the green's the weed out point, which sucks because I love green belts. I love because I'm finally taking them from like the general to like my babies. So I take them from like the kind of the generic. It's not generic, but the standardized program into like my black belt training program where I do like whatever I want with them. I do takedowns, I do kung fu, I teach them Muay Thai. We do like all of the things. So I hate it when I lose them. But yeah, so he dropped yesterday, and I was just blown away. I was almost speechless. Like I seriously almost cried. I've been like a second father to him for 7 years, and
what grade?
He just became a freshman in high school.
Oh, and it's already that much? Wow, it's crazy.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember if I did homework or not. I don't remember doing a lot of homework.
I did not do homework.
Like
I
think I did.
I hated it.
I cannot remember.
But in common, when we were kids, Audi, if we didn't do homework, the teacher was like, "Come on now." Now homework's like 40% of your grade. If you don't do your,
I don't ever remember any part of
you just fail. But the homework.
I think
he said, "Sensei, I have an essay due tomorrow." I was like, "Well, you knew about this essay. You could have done it over the weekend." He goes, "No, it was assigned to us 2 days ago." And I was like, "Wait, you were assigned an essay in your first week of high school that's due in 3 days after it's assigned?"
They want to set the tone, apparently.
They really do, and it's child abuse. It's child abuse. Like when you're saying, like what our kids are going to have to deal with growing up, like there's a lot of stupid going on in our culture and every side right now that they're going to have to deal with to begin with, and like we're not. It's just it is what it is. But like, and then the schooling that they have to try to survive, and then they all get to college and they're like, "I love college," because college isn't Common Core. all the colleges are private. So college is like what we did in high school, whereas like, you know, your teachers are cool and you don't have an essay due in 3 days, and like you get to teach yourself a little bit. You get to have some fun. Like,
I think I would have liked to go to a Montessori when I was growing up. Like just do what you need to do.
Montessori and homeschooling is the way to go.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like
no,
would I do the math?
He's going to be 5. He's like supposed to start school, so we're just going to homeschool him. We have our church has a private school that doesn't do Common Core. We can afford it barely.
I mean, is college really necessary anymore these days?
What's that?
Is college really necessary anymore? I mean, unless you want to be a doctor or lawyer or something like that.
Yeah, I refer to an associate's degree and a bachelor's degree as adult daycare.
I mean, I didn't really need to go to college to learn to be a programmer. I learned more programming out of college than I did in college.
I mean, it certainly depends on your profession. There are certain
there's different things that needs college.
That do more for that than others, but
yeah,
you know,
well, I mean, and the prices are crazy.
Like, almost insane. My brother dropped out of college in his first 6 months and is the head of Baltimore City College's.
Yeah, no, I don't think you need to be in college anymore. I just don't.
Yeah.
Lawyer, doctor, sure.
Yeah, I mean, I went for accounting; it helped a lot. I'm sure that could have been.
You could take the classes to become an accountant, right? You just need to get pass the test.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of one of your professions. I mean, mechanical engineer, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mechanical engineer.
Chemical, nuclear. So much about children that aren't my own. I care so much about them. It's like it's what I do. I care so much, and it hurts. Like it kills me. And Julia, our other red belt, who just became a red belt 3rd degree, we had a pizza party. That was a pizza party / fundraiser for the kids to celebrate them and the new black belt. And she said she doesn't want to come to the thing. And I asked her, why don't you want to come? She goes, it's not that I don't want to come, it's that I can't because I have so much homework. And I asked her mom, I said, hey, you know, she would really like diplomatic immunity from her homework for the night. And her mom goes,
diplomatic.
I'm like, you've been doing that, like you're I know that's what I call it. Like you've been with the program. You're like you're number 3 in the room. Like, how do you not come to the pizza party that we haven't for the first time in 2 years? We have a pizza party to celebrate the kids. You just got your red belt 3rd degree and you can't come because your first week of high school is too severe. Like, it's just not right. It's not right. It's not right. I should stop complaining and find out what I can do about it other than homeschooling my own kid. I don't have a ton of time for activism in this department, but I feel like
what can you do? I mean,
maybe there's something I should do. Maybe I'll call you.
Your geography basically dictates your schooling, right? Like, I mean, you don't get.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, you go to boarding school. Lottery systems, and if your child isn't immunized, you're not allowed in public. Like, it's just weird, excessive quantity of laws on things that California.
Well, I just watched a disappointing end to this Packers-Bears game.
Oh, I saw the preview for it yesterday. Who won?
Packers.
I could have told you that and saved you some time.
Well, I wanted to see the Bears at least tie it, make it interesting. They had a lot of chances.
Yeah, they did. I mean,
and squandered all of them.
They
baby. I can't decide if I'm going to be a fan this year or not. Like, I'm going to watch the first game, and that'll decide to me how much. If it's great, then I'm in. I'm a fair weather fan with Dallas. Like, I don't want to watch a shitty season. Although I probably will. Who am I kidding? Anyway,
yeah.
So end of the year stuff. Yeah, Essen, BGG Con. It's coming up.
I'm
quick.
excited for BGG Con. Well, I'm excited for
BGG Con. It's going to be so awesome. I can't wait. Like, I want to see how the new hotel works. I think it's going to be fantastic. It's the next level for sure.
Yeah, I don't want to like.
We're going to sort the library by size. Box size? Is that a good idea?
Yeah.
I'm making fun of Dice Tower. They posted a picture of the library that for their retreat this weekend, and it's sorted by size. I'm like, how do you find a game? I guess you could just walk down the thing and like if you see something, right? Instead of us looking for something specific, you just kind of browse. There was really a lot of good games out of Gen Con. There's still a ton of them I haven't played yet. I didn't get to play Abomination. Wanted to play that. Have you played that one? The Plat Hat?
Yes, and I like that.
Is it
That is
good?
actually it's quite good. You can be big old jerks, and it's very. I was kind of unsure when I saw the what's the word I'm looking for here? The art. I was kind of like, ugh. I mean, the art just kind of looked kind of good, but not great, kind of thing. And then, but after looking at it for a while, like, and then when they like afterwards, like I saw the art and I was like the inside looked better than the cover. Like I thought the cover was kind of like iffy at best.
Right.
But the game is very, very it's very mature themed. I'll say that. You know,
Right.
it is.
Like,
It is.
it's got a
You
lot
are.
of cool stuff, right? Like,
Yeah. There's lots of ways to be jerks, and there's lots of ways you're basically killing people and chopping up their bodies for
yeah,
usage
that's
and
great.
yeah. No, it's not a kind game, I guess. But I mean, yeah.
I want to play Ecos. Did Ecos come out at Gen Con? I can't remember. I didn't see it, but I've been hearing good things about it.
I actually got that. That showed up in the mail out of nowhere.
John DeClaire game.
Yeah, I've got to play it.
Still play Dark Domains. What's it called? No, not Dark Domains.
Dark Domains is really good.
No, I like Dark Domains. I'm thinking of the other one, Edge of Darkness. Is it Edge of Darkness?
Yeah, that's the one that's got
tower thing.
Yeah, and all kinds of it, but it's just a big giant deck builder, though, right? I mean, that's fine.
Probably put that on tap for this weekend. I got so many games; it's ridiculous.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah, it's such a burden.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, seriously, I have to force myself, right? I could easily spend all day Saturday working. Like, I'd have no problem doing that. I have tons of stuff to do. But I want to play games. I force it.
I force myself to play games.
I force it. Here's the thing. I said I have a lot of things to do. I could easily do something else and not be disappointed, right? Like, I would be perfectly fine playing or not playing anything.
If you stopped playing games as much as what you're saying,
yeah,
and okay, and instead use that to, I don't know, make the website better. Like maybe if you'd use that day to
do my spare job, my side job,
to make a real logo,
Yeah.
Make my what did Kabuki Kid say? Movie poop shoot.
There you go.
He said something. It was kind of funny. I lost it. The comment's too old now.
Well, Kabuki Kid is hilarious.
Yeah. No, I've thought about that. I was like, because I worked with another company recently, or not recently, but many years ago, where I was doing BGG full time, and they're like, "Well, we're doing full time jobs too," and I'm like, "Yeah, but your full time job is not 80 hours." Right? Because they were like telling me like, "We need to get this done. We need to get this done." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I'll get to it when I can, but I'm running BGG here." Yeah, but we all have full time jobs too. I'm like, "Yeah, I hear you." Moviepoopshoot.com.
Do you work at home?
Moviepoopshoot.com.
What's that, Barry?
Do you work at home?
14 years straight.
Yeah.
This office, I'm actually getting tired of it. I want to move. That might be on tap for me next year.
I think if you were like off site, you wouldn't work as much.
Oh, absolutely. No, if I had to drive to an office, I would not work as much. Although I got a laptop. I mean, I do love it. I love the work. It's all. The work lately, though, with the big changing things, has been somewhat annoying. Like I'm not as excited to make changes anymore as I used to be because of the blowback, and I just got to get past it. Like, because obviously I could just sit there and do nothing. I could sit here, do nothing, and see what happens. But I feel like I want to make the website better. I want to have a better site. I want it to work on phones. I want to, do all. I got tons of ideas, tons, years and years of ideas still to do.
Sorry, baby fell asleep or baby woke up.
Yeah,
I'm back.
yeah. Anyway,
Years and years, huh?
Years.
dude, it's hard to, once we've got it's like changing the racing car. It's changing the wheels on a car in the middle of a race, right? That's the way it works. That's the hard thing. Hey Barry, come in. Double.
Yay.
Thanks.
What up, man?
Give me the.
Where are you now?
Hey, it's
location.
Frenchie.
He's in the undisclosed location.
Yes, I'm in the underground bank. This is all the leftovers of Scott's games that he hasn't played yet.
That's what it looks like. I should take a picture. So sick. Here's a weird question. Did any of you guys play Mental Blocks yet? From Gen Con?
I live Mental
That's
Blocks.
the one with the foam blocks where you have to build the structure by looking at one view of it.
Nope.
Remember that? The Panosaurus?
Nope.
No. It makes me feel stupid. We did the first puzzle, like, no problem, like 5 seconds. Second puzzle, we sat there for 20 minutes and discussed it, and we still couldn't figure it out. Even with the solution card in our hand, we still couldn't get it right. It's like, wow, this is hard. But it's like Laboca multiplayer. You remember Laboca?
What, that over there?
Yeah, that's what reminded me of it.
Okay.
Anyway, it's an interesting game. I want to play more.
Chad, you don't.
You know,
want to
Laboca
copy
is like
Laboca.
out of print. Costs like, I think it's like $100 to $200.
It's coming back.
It is.
I can't remember it. I think it might be Super Meeple that might be doing it.
Oh, awesome!
I reviewed it last month, and I mentioned in the video who is actually bringing it back this year.
Right. Okay. Super Meeple could be
it. It might be Super Meeple, but it might be someone else. I can't remember. It's another
Grail.
French company.
Could be Grail Games.
No,
not Grail. Okay.
No, it's a
I'll be
French
right back,
company.
guys. I need to use the restroom.
All right. I'll allow it.
It's 3 hours. We're right back.
Wow, that was a lot of coffee. Why you slagging him off about his changes on BGG?
I'll slag you off.
You can slag me off. I don't mind. I can take it. I know I'm flawed.
Looking up, slag me off.
Slag me off. Come on,
You
Lance.
criticize them in an unpleasant way. British, informal.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I thought it was something way better.
Oh. To diss me.
I wasn't altogether certain, so I figured maybe I should look.
And now you know.
And
Anyway.
knowing is
Half the battle.
Half the problem. Once you know what people think about you, that's it. Your perception of them changes. Wow. God, what did I dream of last night? can't believe
I
I'm this-
guarantee you, I don't know.
It might have been you.
Ooh.
Is that what? Have you had a shave, Lance? Is that why you're hiding half off screen?
No. Strangely enough, we did discuss the fact that like I haven't shaved in years.
Yeah.
So, and I won't. Grave before shave, baby.
Grave before shave.
Grave before
You know,
shave.
you in the grave you'll grow it back.
No, you don't. That's actually you don't. Your skin retracts. It just makes it look like everything else comes out.
Yeah, they say that your hair still grows. They say that your nails get longer still. your
No,
hair
it's
still-
because your skin retracts, and that's why the stuff looks. It seems like it grows, but it doesn't.
Okay.
It's an optical illusion.
Okay. Is that a Trivial Pursuit question?
Nah, it's just something weird I probably read somewhere. Made me think I was smart.
No.
Nah. So anyway, what you been up to, Barry? We playing any games lately? How's France?
France is getting cold. the air is changing as the pressoirs are starting to get into action. So in the morning when you open the windows, the air is cold and it smells vinegary. So yeah, the harvest is coming. We're going to be cutting some grapes soon. I can't wait. What games have I played lately? I've been playing Chronicles of Crime again with the expansions, which is really good. Some nice gritty stuff in there, and I'm getting ready to do Lucky Duck's new soundtrack. Here's a new breaking news soundtrack for Legends, Time of Legends Destiny. So I'm doing the soundtrack for that soon, which is coming to Kickstarter at the end of this month.
Lucky Duck. Lucky Duck.
That's me.
I don't like ducks.
No? They taste nice.
What's your position with Lucky Duck? I don't know you very well. Forgive the question.
That's okay, John. It's understandable. My position with Lucky Duck is I know Vincent. That's it.
Have you played the new Mysterium type game?
Know the guy who owns it?
Yeah. What? Detective Club.
No, isn't Lucky Duck coming out with a new Mysterium type game? Like I thought I read that on Facebook.
Right, Supernatural one. Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah.
No, I haven't played that.
The Lucky Duck. I will admit my jealousy. They got the Kingdom Rush license, right?
Yeah.
I approached Ironhide when the King's Armory was in original development, and asked them for the license, and they said no, thank you. We want to stick to video games. We're not interested in expanding into the board game community. Bastards.
Okay. Want millions? I guess. Well, now they want millions of dollars.
I know. I mean, that was 6 years ago. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you were ahead of your time, John. I tell you.
Everybody wants to get into the board game.
I
community.
bet if you came out like 3 years
General
ago,
Mills Cereals has gotten into the board game community.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you consider mass produced now? Like you can get, well, we consider designer games and Target and all of that now. You know. So what do you consider mass produced?
100,000 copies, something like that.
Okay.
That's a lot of copies.
I mean, the Funkoverse, I think, is going to blow people away.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be crazy when it comes out. It'll be everywhere. You'll see it everywhere.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
That'll
Facebook's
either
gonna
be a
massive.
huge hit or it'll be a complete and total like rap.
I don't know, man. Those pops are awesome. I played it on the cruise. I mean, we only played the very basic rules, which is almost nothing of a game.
Mhm.
But the real game looks better, like where you play the scenarios or whatever.
Comparable to Crossmaster. Is it the same?
Comparable to Crossmaster. I never played Crossmaster. I don't know. I would more compare it to Unmatched, or that kind of game where you're moving your guy around. You have 2 actions on a turn, and you can move, you can do a move, you can cast a spell, you can do a power. The really innovative thing is the cooldowns, which I'm really shocked has not been done before. Like, wow, how has this not been done? So when you cast your spell, it'll say like a 3 on it. Like it'll be like a blue token with a 3 on it, or on the board it'll say 3 on your player sheet. So you take your blue token, you put on 3, and at the end of the very round, it ticks down. When it comes back, you can cast it. So the really powerful, like I was playing Snape, and he had like 1 killer spell that had a 3 turn cooldown.
Stick to snakes?
No, it's like Abracadabra or something like that. No, it wasn't Abracadabra. It was something.
I have Avada in my party the other day. Avada Kedavra Maxima, they got a hit with. It's a fun game. I love Monday holidays. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. No, it's good. It's good. It's tactical. You have to work as a team because it's hard to knock somebody out. And when you get knocked out, you go on the cooldown track too.
No elimination.
Yep.
Yeah, I will say the mechanisms or whatever for it, they actually did a good job. It isn't a throwaway game.
No.
It's
well thought.
actually fairly well thought out in my opinion.
Yeah, it's neat, and the pops look great. They really.
I will be right back.
Let's
I'll
slag
be right back.
Max off now. When are you going to update your YouTube site, Lance? Huh? Huh?
I know the answer.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't respond to that one.
I won't say anything. Yeah. So
Oh, good. Lucky Duck.
Yeah, I mean,
Lucky Duck also
have
had
you
the
guys felt-
Tiny Town license.
do you think? I mean, it's a topic that we've talked about many times. Is are there too many games?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you think anybody's actually hurting though? Like, are any companies being like, "Oh, I made these 2,000 games and I can't sell them"? It doesn't seem like that.
Not yet. It's
Yeah.
close.
So when does it end? It's been years and years and years of this.
Yeah. People.
go
People.
into
I think
discussion.
people are looking for the underground game. You know, when a new company
FOMO?
comes out, it's like, oh, I've never heard of this company. Oh, they've done this game. Oh, it's pretty good. I'll watch them, and maybe one day they'll be bigger than Asmodee.
Yeah.
So I think
You're betting on the dark horse, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're getting a lot of dark
I have
horses on.
so
on
many
Kickstarter.
people who have chosen me in that pool. And from the game designer inside, like seriously, like we all hope to be that guy.
Yeah, you want to catch the lightning.
Yep.
There's
I
like
was-
1 or 2 games a year that do it.
And I really appreciate your compliment earlier, or comment, or whichever you intended it as. That
What did I say?
Armory was, before its time.
Oh yeah, no, I think you were. You were very much before your time.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna do great.
I hope so. Let's hope it hits traction. I mean, it did great the first time, but like, let's hope it hits the traction that it deserves this time.
So what games have you
Let's hope,
designed,
let's
John?
hope Albie plays it before it comes out.
Excuse my stupidity, John.
What's up?
What games have you designed?
My flagship game is The King's Armory, and I, like you, are not offended by the question. The King's Armory is the world's first tower defense board game.
Okay. Well, before Dragon Castle Panic.
We had a discussion earlier. Castle Panic's technically not tower defense. They use the moniker, but
Okay.
it's like it's an improvisation on tower defense. But what we're going for is the tower defense video game genre, where there's a path. The monsters enter the path and get to the castle or whatever, or the cake or whatever the heck you're defending. It's got 20 health, and you build towers and you have things come out from it. I really look forward to Lucky Duck's Kingdom Rush. I mean, I've seen reviews and I've seen the Kickstarter page. I backed it. I look forward to getting it. I'm authentically curious how close it sticks to even Kingdom Rush's tower defense, because it looks like they improvise so much of it that it's a fun game, but it almost still looks like it's less tower defensey than.
So hey, here Maui Chris says, Funko board game. I'm surprised Lego hasn't gotten into the board game biz yet. They did like 4 years ago, and those games were horrible.
I heard the dungeon crawl game was all right.
Mm.
And I thought I remember, I can't remember if I played it or not. I don't think I did. The Knizia game where you can modify the dice, it's like a Lego die.
Yeah.
Well, it was horrible. You know why?
Why?
Because it was a Knizia game.
Blasphemer.
Mm.
Blasphemer.
You can't be a blasphemer when you speak the truth.
Have you played El Dorado?
Who designed it?
Oh, Knizia.
Well, then no, it wouldn't even come within 50 feet of my home.
Come on, Lord of the Rings.
Hey, Buzz, I have
One of the greatest co-op games ever made. Invented
Who designed it?
Rainer Knizia.
Oh, it still must be horrible. Why would I play it?
Knizia designed it. He's a doctor.
Not worth investing time in.
Doctor of Funk, maybe. I don't know. But
okay.
I mean, no.
Oh, I was going to say, where's Pete? Pete's not here.
I know. What happened to Pete? Do we ever get Seth back in here again? Or is he pretty much done?
I sent him an invite all the time.
Did he disown you?
His company did.
No, I know, but I mean, friends.
I still consider him a friend.
Okay.
But I can't speak for him.
So how is the new job?
It's pretty awesome. Jeff is like a awesome human being, and like the guy who owns Funnigan, and the guy that's kind of like my coworker / boss his name's Rick Scoville, and he's just
Yeah, he seems
like It's a good way to put him. He is extremely intelligent. If I hadn't gotten married, I probably would have ended up like him. Just he's like, no, I mean seriously, he's like,
I was expecting you to say I'd marry him.
Yeah, that's
No,
what I was.
no.
That's what I was. If I wasn't married, I'd be top my list.
What? Travis is no longer with Colossal. Since when?
When?
What? Is that a Facebook?
I don't know. That's what Kabuki Kid just said.
And Kabuki should know.
No, he was already talking about that Ruination game that Colossal's
he just put
printing.
a game out.
Yeah.
He just launched a new game.
Quit spreading lies, Kabuki Kid. And hey, there, Mr. Just joined. There's an echo with you.
Who, me?
Me.
Yeah. Oh.
See, watch. There's no echo now.
I don't hear it.
I can hear it on my end. No, it's just my voice. And then I go to him.
Yourself.
Now, if I add him again, I can hear it now.
Okay, I'll turn my mic down.
It could be your headphones bleeding.
It is my headphones. These are studio headphones, and they let the sound in and out as well. So, sorry.
Yeah, this isn't your first rodeo. I expect Barry out of you, Barry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Undead Viking and Silent Barry strikes again.
Well, I love the fact. You know what? It's time for the Barry 15. You've been sitting there for doing nothing, saying nothing, except for giving me a little bit of making a wisecrack. Come on, Barry Reynolds. You talk for 15 minutes. Go.
The Barry 10.
The Barry 10.
Barry 10.
I was actually just about to leave. All right. No, I was. My neck's starting to bother me.
You're starting to bother me. Go.
All right. Last week I brought up the voyeurism thing, right? Do you think it'll get to a point where people are living through their phones so much that they don't have the urge to explore anymore?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, it's already
I
happening.
play Skyrim, and I just explore in Skyrim. Sorry.
Oh no.
You think? I mean, as a society in general, like,
It already happened. It's already happening.
Mm.
Go out. Like I was at dinner the other night with Michelle, and there was a table of like teenage kids, and they were all on their phone, buried. Like you're sitting at a table with people at a restaurant, and you're on your phone.
Yeah, there's lots of things to explore in a restaurant, like the kitchen.
Well, you can have conversations with each other.
Yeah.
But no, all on the phone.
they're teenagers. Would they want to talk to? Oh, they're.
I'm just telling you how the world is changing.
Yeah.
They're basically getting lost in their phone. That carries those habits carry through, right? Like the shit you do as a kid is like defines you.
I still pick my nose neater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quite low.
I mean, maybe there'll be like some sort of revolution against technology and social, but I doubt it. It's so addictive. It hits your endorphins. That like button. Have you seen Black Mirror?
Yeah.
The latest season.
The
latest season has an episode about the social.
Well, every single Black Mirror is just about like, oh, technology ruins your life. It just seems like that's everything.
Yeah, sure. Most of them are like that. Although I really like Hang the DJ. Hang the DJ is like one of the good ones. Positive.
Which one?
Hang the DJ.
Oh yeah.
The dating one with the.
I
don't want to spoil it. Yeah, that's a positive one. It wasn't the Miley Cyrus one.
Remember to have a cupcake in the fridge.
Where's the basket? The basket is gone.
He's not in his kitchen.
Yeah, Barry. I would say yes. Society is. People are more curious about. It's a lot easier to look on your phone where Paris is than it is to actually go there. People are just when you're walking down High Street, people are in their phones. They're not looking about what's going on around them. They just want to get to their destination, and they want to get there as quick as possible. I mean, this happened decades ago as well. I used to be the same. I'd get my Walkman, I'd put it on, I'd escape to another world of music, knowing that I was going to work or knowing that I was, going into town to pick up the latest, Jean-Michel Jarre cassette, so I could listen to that on the way back home. It's escapism, and it does give you like a tunnel vision. It blocks off your enthusiasm to actually explore the world and look in every nook and cranny that is around you. Because, as I said, it wasn't until I playing games like Skyrim where, wow, there's that there, and I didn't notice that there before, and then I actually think that the real world is exactly the same, but 1,000 times more interesting. There's an earthworm there. Oh wow, and just those little curiosities. People just blindsight nowadays because they got their phone.
Yeah, I do realize our escapism is way more now than it was when I was growing up. Like the 200 TV channels, the 400 movies.
And nothing's on.
Yeah.
And thousands of board games.
And none of them are good.
All of them suck.
Seventh Continent, it's only one. Keith's not here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
No, yeah. I mean,
it's the times, and I think that's why board games are resurging.
things have changed, yeah. No, even in the past 5 years. It's significantly different. It's just slowly crept up on us. We don't realize it. It's changed our lives, for sure.
It's like a lot of people don't notice that BGG's changed its logo.
I know that was one of the worst things.
Wait, what happened?
You just got to do it unannounced, Scott, and then just.
Oh, I've done everything I've done is unannounced.
Yeah,
I've announced a lot of things here, right? But nobody watches this. So, come on.
You got to make one post, Scott. This is where you type and drop the mic.
Hey,
so this is a BGG meeting.
Mallory Chris has pointed out what I've been thinking too, that your mic is very low. It's hard to hear you.
Is it? I did swap it over. It should be this one.
Still? No?
I'm on 11 now.
11 what?
But why don't you just make 10 louder?
Well done, Scott. Come on, Lance. I thought you would have got that.
I got it. I caught on, but I mean 11 what though?
Deary me. Oh, Mr. Monty
Yeah,
Python.
the rise of board games are people craving human contact.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some of them are, I don't know. That's true.
Well, that's the problem, though. Board games have gone solo as well now. There's so many games with solo modes.
Yeah, the solos are picking up steam.
So there were people buying board games thinking, oh, yeah, this is great. I'll be able to meet more people and interact with people. And then all of a sudden, it's got a solo mode. I don't need to bother. Fuck them. I'll just play on my own. I can win on my own.
I'd like to believe that that's more a result of having a hard time getting the group together than anything else, but I mean, you could be right.
There's also a weird social dynamic thing with board games when you have like 7 people in the group and you really want to play a 4-player game. You're like, well, which 4 are going to play? You play this little like.
I don't have that.
Play it. Well, I don't care. You have this like little dating game kind of thing going on.
Yeah, it's like, well, I hate that game, so I'll play this one over here.
Yeah.
Right.
I never had that problem. I would never go above 4 players. It was a rule. Yeah.
I only play 2-player games because it's me and just my one friend, right, Lance?
Yeah. I'll say this. Like it's really quiet in my house now that my kids go to school, and there isn't like the thumping around upstairs, and it's almost like it's like
you can work.
I can work, but it's also kind of sad.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They're off dealing with Common Core.
Yeah.
Preaching to their classmates, board games are the future. Oh God. Silence.
I think that's what got me into it, I guess, more than anything, is the people. Right? The game is the medium.
Yeah.
Although I do like mechanisms in games. I like learning new games and seeing all the new stuff, but it's still about playing with friends and stuff.
Memory.
And I hope the game is good so that everybody's happy. Although
Yeah.
that's harder and harder to do with my group these days. There's always someone who's like, yeah.
Yeah, and it's always the one you least expect as well.
You were like, we were playing Black Angel,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like loving it like the whole time, and everybody finishing it, and they're like, this is not fun. I'm like, oh, I thought you guys were having fun. Well, it's too much cupcake, not enough frosting is the phrase that we use. When something
Yes, because there's no cupcake at all. John's eating it.
I know John made it.
It's very good.
Yeah. And all it takes is that one person to spoil the
It
experience
kind of
for
does.
yourself.
I always have the feeling that if you didn't have a good time, I can't have a good time, right? Like I feel guilty.
Yes. Yep.
Because usually I dictate the games that get played most of the time. They give me a lot of choice, which is nice of them because they don't care, honestly.
How big's your local group?
4.
That's cool.
Yeah, like Barry said, it's just easier. Like I've got tons of people that want to come over, but I have other friends that want to come over into that group, and I'm just saying I don't want to do it because I know it'll create a weird social dynamic that I don't want to deal with. So it's just easier not to do it. I mean, I used to have a group of 20.
4 to commit. Then you could have like 2 groups of 4 happening in your house at the same time.
But that would still create a weird 4 and 4. Yeah, it's still like I have had the big groups for my first 10, 15 years of gaming, and now it's like I just want to be 4.
No, I totally get that.
You know what I mean?
I'm throwing out ideas that I wouldn't support either.
Yeah.
Like you've got your people that are close, and it's like, look, I want to play with you, but at the same time, I don't feel like putting up with whether or not you fit in my group.
Yeah, it's not.
You're going to do this.
The dynamic we have is like it's perfect, and I can't. I don't want to change it. And it's.
Do you have like? Is it like the Ninja Turtles where you have like one of each, personality type?
Kind of.
It's fun.
And no one takes anything too seriously, except sometimes I get angry. I'm probably the one that takes things the most seriously. Like I hear myself complaining. I'm like, shut up, Scott. Just play. Just don't. But then like 10 minutes goes by and I totally forget about that. I start complaining again. I'm a very good metagamer. Like if you play with me, you'll get.
Yeah. And again, if I invite 8 people around, I want to play with all of them. I don't want to just play with
exactly. Yeah, I want to play with everybody, but the only thing you can play with everybody is like party games.
Yeah.
Right. Or there's a new game, 8-player.
It's only 6 hours long.
It's called Advanced Civilization. No, there was a new game. It had 8-player count, and it was a good game. What the hell was it? Shit, can't remember now. I played on the cruise. Can't look at my pictures.
U-boat.
Pictionary is great with 8 people.
Yeah, it was like an 8-player game, and we're like, wow, this game's really good. I can't remember what it was.
Speaking of playing old games, Pictionary is still freaking awesome.
Did you get Pictionary Air at Gen Con?
No, I've heard about it though. How was it?
It's fun.
That's cool.
And it's Pictionary with an easel, but like you're just doing it in the air. Like you have to remember what you drew, and so you can.
Sure. Yeah.
Because everybody else can see it, but you can't.
Oh, is that the one with the smart app?
Yeah.
All right. That looks fun.
Oh yeah.
All right, gentlemen. I think I got to call it.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I think it's getting late. One of these days we'll have to have a real hardcore long one again, but that won't be tonight.
Well, SN Preview, man, right?
Oh yeah, SN Preview. That will coincide with the Cardboard Caravan. Hey.
Yeah, and hopefully StreamYard will be able to cope with 10 people.
Is the release date for the new Dune Essen?
I thought it was out now.
I thought it was out now.
No, I don't know.
Somebody in the comments already said they think it's sold out already, so it's got to already be out.
Oh, Jesus. Oh my gosh, I gotta post my Gen Con photos, man. I got some doozies. I got a nice one of you, Lance.
What now?
Your offspring.
Oh, your one friend.
Well,
You got 2 though, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I got 2,
I don't
but
like them as much.
she's one of the best friends I've ever had in my life. So
This classic.
oh yeah. Send me that one. I like that.
I'll send it out.
Dearie me, yeah. And then
I wish I could get that 8-player game.
Thanks, you're a good dude.
I try.
You.
But yeah, who knows? You know,
I do.
I do try. I try hard.
I think we all try hard, and some of us are good at it, and some of us are not naturally good at it.
There's that.
And then we kick ourselves afterwards.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a good sign, though.
Well, that you kick yourself, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're unhappy with something that you've done and you recognize it and you work on it.
Yeah,
not work.
You work on it for a week, and then you slip into old habits, and you go back to the screaming and the shouting.
And then you work on it again, and you try to get to 2 weeks next time.
Yeah, and then hopefully they understand that if they don't do that, then you won't scream and shout, and things will be better. Hopefully.
Just keep yelling long enough to, you know.
So I can sound like Van Halen when I sing. Yeah.
Well, there you go. All right, I'm going to bed. Good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for watching, friends. Good night, everyone.